have a study, you're more than welcome to look at the numbers in the study if you wanted to, instead of referring to opinion
I mean,
pieces
I
all the
can
time.
maybe, but I mean, then I'd end up
Please
kind of like
don't
you, where I have the wrong
with
opinion
that.
because I'm too arrogant to accept when I'm wrong. But yeah.
Okay, please don't kill yourself. I know that you're not very good at math, so like maybe
I
that's a
I do.
reason to kill
You're
yourself.
definitely
But
making me
please don't.
suicidal.
Coping with the fact that you got spanked by
You
someone
can
with
keep saying
500
whatever
subs.
you'd like, and I'm fine for you to think that. I don't care at all. The fact that you're constantly fantasizing about me getting spanked, we'll just let the audience decide if that's weird
I'm
or
not
not.
the one
The fact of the matter is,
fantasizing.
Question for you. How come you always jump straight to the insults?
because I've tried
And everyone
arguing
in
with you
debates,
for the last like 15 minutes, and you've made so many stupid arguments that at this point the only thing I can do that's even slightly productive is
then-
roast your dumbass.
There are women receiving messaging that science and engineering is not. What does that look like?
They're probably receiving some of that message from your show. You
That's
just
science-
said that women are gravitating
So-
towards
oh.
this. You said I've become the biggest
Yes.
beta.
One thing I've noticed when I was watching some of the stuff that you did before, your hair was all spiked up. I don't even think you were wearing glasses, huh?
As far as the glasses or whatever, I wore glasses then too. It was what you were watching then were scripted videos. So I would literally just take my glasses off, do the video, and then be done. Is appearance really the only thing that determines if somebody's a beta or not?
No, but it does have something to do with it.
Do you think that kind of logic could be used against you? Like, could somebody just look at you and be like, yeah, she's a bimbo, ignore everything she says?
See, bring that out of you. Bring that part out of you, man.
I'm wondering if you genuinely think that logic would be acceptable there.
Yeah, I do.
That's like the most beta thing I've ever heard, though, because what you're saying is like, yeah, like a mean enough insult of somebody's appearance is all it takes to make a good argument. Like, that's bullshit.
Okay, well, I recommend you still do your hair if you can not wear the glasses.
I'm not going to just like not see so that I don't look quote unquote beta.
You would do anything just to own the cons, even if they're the smallest example of conservatives you can find.
I'm kind of familiar with this argument that, like, Hunter, you've never actually talked to any of the smart conservatives. Can you give me an example of a smart conservative?
Michael Knowles, Matt Walsh, Liz Wheeler.
So Michael Knowles says, both the libs and conservatives have taken freedom of speech to an absurd extreme, invoking it to justify all manner of historically unprotected speech, such as a blasphemy, etc. Blasphemy? Right. I'm pretty sure the Constitution directly talks about how the state should not demean or uplift certain religions. So what does it mean that you can't commit blasphemy? This, by the way, from the smart conservative you referenced.
No, because he's smart. Because Michael Knowles is smart enough to realize that the Founding Fathers wrote the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution knowing those freedoms weren't established by just some random government authority. They were born with those rights. They were granted by a creator, and that you cannot speak out again.
This isn't true.
Speak blasphemy against that creator.
No, this is directly in contrary to what the Founding Fathers believed and how America was formed. So America began literally because they didn't like the fact that there was an enforced religion over in England where they all had to attend the English church. They didn't like that. So they set up America so that you could practice your own religion, and the government would not grant special privileges to said religion, but also wouldn't stop said religion. So when Michael Knowles is talking about banning and censoring blasphemy, he is directly against what America stands for. This is not a smart conservative. This is a fascist authoritarian who would rather invoke censorship against speech he doesn't like.
Keep telling yourself that, bud.
Okay. Is that all you have to say? I have no problem with a stay-at-home mom and a working father. The problem arises, again, when these roles are enforced by shaming those who deviate from these gender expectations. The father absolutely should provide for his family, but what is provision? Provision is not limited to financial provision. If a father is better equipped to stay at home with the kids and the mother is better suited to be the breadwinner, why is this a problem? They should both be providing. Stay-at-home dads still face shaming and stigma surrounding their masculinity.
The biological roots of how men and women behave are one-to-one all throughout history and all throughout different societies. Moreover, who is enforcing them? Where is like the gender role Stasi going door to door and being like, are you barefoot, naked, pregnant in the kitchen or whatever? This is just simply not happening. In fact, it's actually being enforced in the opposite direction. I'd be curious to see the sort of psychoanalysis on this too. Is Hunter a stay-at-home dad? Is he insecure in that role? Who knows?
I don't know why you would say you're not trying to enforce them when you are literally advocating
to bring America back to traditional gender roles. I don't know how you do that unless you're planning on enforcing it to a degree. And then you even go further and say, well, who's enforcing them? And then you proceed to try and get a diss at me for possibly being a stay-at-home dad. John, you're the one doing it, buddy. You're the one going door to door, making sure that the women are pregnant and naked in the kitchen. There are social expectations. You heard the research I read from Pew Research. There are far more expectations that women adhere to more of these traditional roles, and when men are stay-at-home fathers, for example, that's not seen as acceptable. Why?
I don't think that's absolutely the case. I mean, with your stay-at-home father example, I get that it's a touchy subject, so we will move on from that. But
I'm not a stay-at-home dad, John, if that helps.
Who is enforcing all of these, gender roles? It doesn't happen. I'm young enough, you're young enough to remember having gone through the public education system, having gone through the cycle of programming to which we were exposed.
Now,
Exactly
first of all,
the
I
opposite.
recognize that you want to keep going back to the stay-at-home dad thing because it probably bothers you that I have a wife and 2 children and I'm living the trad life, you're living the mad life, I get it. But even more so, when I'm talking about these social expectations, they are subtle, John. They're not these in your face telling people that they must agree or must believe this way. They've done studies, for example, where they have asked middle schoolers, draw a picture of a scientist. Virtually everyone in that study draws a picture of a man. There's a reason why these sciences, for example, are perceived as a more masculine career. That is social conditioning, which we can change.
The reason that they draw scientists as a men is something like 90% of scientists are men or something.
Why?
The
Why
same
is
reason,
that? Thank you for proving my point. Yes.
I mean, even as I read in the intro, the ratio's 13-1. Boys that score over 700 on the math section of their SATs compared to women, it's 13-1. That is biological. Also,
I just can't believe you're telling me the decisions people make are just biological, as if it's not a
100%.
super complicated, hold on, as if there's not a
100%.
super complicated and nuanced thing that goes on between, yes, some biology, but also social. We are all a result of our biology interacting with society.
The mechanisms in our brain making us want to go towards those things are biological. Those are innate. Also, the quip about you being married and me not, you'll have to refer me to which Norman Rockwell painting depicted you knocking up a woman, walking away, hooking up with another woman, and then going back to her once she was pregnant. I don't think that's very traditional, I will say.
Now, it's very cute that you have like this tabloid understanding of what happened. Maybe if you've been reading up on some celebrity news, but virtually none of that was true, what you just said. But even more so, well, I know, it's easier for you to derail into ad homs when you're obviously getting demonstrated to be completely wrong here. So men going into sciences is largely because it's expected to be a masculine and male career.
Why?
Hold on. Women have made massive contributions to the sciences, even in a time when women were not expected to, or were even actively discouraged from pursuing those things. There was something that happened in the late 90s called the Scully effect. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but when the X-Files came out, it depicted a female scientist, which wasn't like the first time that happened, but after that, it was called the Scully effect, where a huge increase of girls wanted to be scientists. There is a social component here. It's a lot easier and almost lazier to just say, it's just brains, men are men, women are women, okay? It's a lot more difficult to contend with what we can actually change. And by acknowledging that there are certain social expectations that we place on people, we expect them to act a certain way. If we can acknowledge that, that means we can also change these things. We can make it so that families are more stable. We can make it so that if a man unfortunately loses his job, he's not more likely to get divorced because his self-esteem is suddenly in the toilet. We can make these changes. We can make the world a better place.
See, I'm working through God right now.
Well, God is just doing a really shitty job then. I'm sorry. But
Okay.
Killing is never the answer, and this is why God said you shall
except when
not
God
kill.
does it, apparently. And apparently God, when he killed all the first children, also killed your brain. Goodbye.
You're acting like you're the logical one, but there's nothing logical about homosexuality or the transgender stuff.
There's nothing logical about depriving kids from better outcomes on the basis of a mystical spirit.
But
Like,
that's
listen
not
to what
I'm
you're
doing.
saying. Yes, you are. You sound like you're writing the next script for a My Little Pony episode. The thing
Have
is,
I
was-
convinced you? Have
Well,
I converted Hunter Avalon?
Actually, you've strengthened me in my atheism because there's no way that a good, eternal, loving God would ever create somebody like you. Anthony, you claimed that you only know things because you get divine revelation from God, and when I asked how you know that, you said, "'Cause the Bible told me so." Listen, I don't know anything for certain except for the fact that you're a degenerate moron.
Shut up and stop arguing all the damn time. How else are we supposed to come together? How else are we supposed to have conversations?
Sometimes it's not a come together moment. Sometimes people are wrong.
When a Christian conservative gets up and says that gay people are sinful, that's why kids shouldn't be taught that gay people are real, they are wrong. It's not about trying to get along with this person. Maybe if I hold hands and we have a cookie picnic, then everything will magically be okay. No, fuck you. You hold backwards beliefs that harm people. You are wrong. I'm not trying to get along with you. I'm trying to make sure that you have an understanding about why you are catastrophically wrong.
Welcome, 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 everybody. I realize now that the camera is in the way, and my hair looks even worse than I thought it was. That's comforting. Oops. There we are. I'm gonna have to, goofy auto tune. Oh, okay. We're back to the same old fucking problem. All right, hold on. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. That's why. It's set to the wrong device. Okay, that may have been better. Hold on. All right, that should sound a lot better now. It does sound a little odd for sure. Do I maybe need to turn it down digitally? All right, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. I think I can work with that. Does it sound odd as in bad, or does it just sound odd because you're used to me having like bedroom speaker quality? My mic is too cold, everybody's saying. Is it? Hello, everybody. This is a test. Coffee Lover, thanks for the $10 donation. Pretty much the only political live streamer I watch nowadays. Enjoy some coffee money on me, Hunter. Neom, thanks for the $2. I finished the drawing of you. Hey, thanks. Sounds fine. It sounds off. It's just kind of flat. I don't think there's anything wrong with this. Yeah, it does sound a little bit. It sounds compressed. Well, there's a compressor turned on. Let's see. That's the compressor turned off. That sounds like it's peaking again, right? Test, test, testing, testing. It sounds better now. It's important he gets it right for the debate, not just us. Yeah, I need to just have this all. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. All right, it's still peaking a little bit. Testing, 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 testing. All right, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Test. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Does that sound better? Yeah? Test. I mean, that sounded like I was yelling in the mic a little bit, but that sounds like how you would expect it to. Testing. Test, test. Testing, testing, testing. Your mic is the Peking duck tonight? All right, I turned it down on the digital. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, sorry guys, you're gonna have to bear with me here for a minute. I think that sounds as good as it's gonna get. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's all right. Ron's KFC, hey, thanks for the $5. See you're debating tonight. I expect you to win. You expect a modest win or a blowout? I don't know. Today has not been a very good day for me, and I wish that I had never woken up. So, basically, if I just like make it out of the rest of today alive, then I've succeeded and won. Okay. And Coffee Lover, hey, thanks for the $2. Good luck on the debate. What's the topic? Marky McLeod, thanks for the $5. Andrew, what's your favorite The Land Before Time movie? Would you consider Littlefoot a Sigma? Much love. Yeah, Littlefoot is major Sigma. Total Sigma. There's a high likelihood it'll try to derail me with flat earth stuff. Oh, man. Wish me luck, guys. Because I really do not want to be here. I'm not even going to fucking pretend otherwise. I do not want to do this. I don't want to be here. I wish I hadn't agreed. Today's been a shitbag day, and I wish I never woke up. Anywho, let's hope for the best. Yeah, the topic is, are men today wimps? So I'm going to be extra wimpy, okay? Zaylik, hey, thanks for the $7 donation. Good luck, Hunter. Sorry you had a bad day, but you'll clutch up in the debate. Hey, thanks. Hopefully, yeah. Regenerate Sings, thanks for the $10. It was some other YouTuber that's disappointed me yesterday. I'm sorry if I didn't word things right. YouTube Super Chat allocates text weird. You get the best donating $5. It gives 100 instead of 50 each level. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some better ways to go about doing that for sure. I thought the debate I thought the debate started at 8.
Yo, chat. Let me know.
I just want to
let me
make sure
know.
you know so that.
You got it.
Chat. Let me know how the audio is. If you can hear everything just fine, or there's a feedback, or there's any issues. So let me know, chat. I'm kind of doing it a different way than I usually do.
Let's see here. I'm just gonna be sure I gave him the right link.
I don't know if they can actually. Maybe if I do like this.
Okay,
Yo,
cool.
chat, let me know how the audio is and if you guys can hear me, and if there's any feedback. Okay, they said there's no sound before. All right, let's see if this is better. My
I
whole
don't
chat.
even like Zherka that much, but anything but this Hunter Avalone guy.
What was it?
Someone was like, I don't even like Zherka, but at least he's better than this Hunter Avalone guy.
Okay.
right.
I wonder if this
Don't
is
worry.
better now.
You're gonna grow on them. They're gonna
I
love
still
you.
can't hear. Fuck it. Let me see how to fix this.
I would guess. I mean, Zherka has like some a fierce tribe of, I don't know, maybe it could be 20. It's hard to tell.
Settings.
However many people that last debate he was on, they seem to come into the live chat and be very.
Oh no, believe me, it's part of the fun here. I have your chat displayed on my stream. So like when debating Hake, for example, when it's like his arguments are like so laughable, just watching the chat freak out like Hake win, yeah. It's become like a very fun thing for us over here.
Fuck, it's not.
That's funny. I could believe it.
Working. It's not working on mine for some reason. I can't. Did he make? Oh, okay. Okay. We have no sound.
Oh, I just fixed my sound problem. Yay. I figured it out.
Am I muted on your end?
Nope.
No, I can hear you fine. Hold on, Alex. Let me see.
Okay, because it's for some reason there's no sound coming in through on my stream.
Yeah, there's not. I've got like about 2 streams pulled up right now.
I don't know. I don't know how to fix that. This is why I hate doing it. Like, there you go. Damn it.
Can you guys see me?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Sorry about that.
Yo, there's no sound on the stream for some reason. They can't hear me even though I have the audio like unmuted. I have myself unmuted. Oh, maybe if I do it like this, if I add myself like this. Okay, can you check if there's sound now?
Yeah, there's sound.
Is there feedback?
No.
There's no feedback at all. There's sound now.
Sounds fine.
Oh, actually, there's some coming in.
Oh, it sounds fine on my end. Yeah, there's sound.
Is there feedback?
No, there was only feedback for like 2 seconds. It's not there now. Oh, wait. It's echoing. I don't know.
Okay, Joe, can you still hear me? Can you still hear the audio?
I can hear you on this phone call. Let me check the stream.
Yeah, can you still hear me on the stream? I'll just change something.
1 second.
No, I don't hear you on the stream anymore. No.
All right, see if I unmute myself, then there's feedback issues. Yeah, see, like now everyone can hear me, but then there's gonna be massive feedback unless I find a way around that. Actually, well, now when I talk, there's no feedback. Okay, can someone else say something?
Testing.
Hello.
Excellent work.
Actually,
I'm sending the link to Zherka right now.
Did someone else say something?
Or not the link, but
Yeah, it's on other people's stuff.
Okay, so there's the issue I'm having is that I think the feedback is only on my end. So somehow the sound is getting looped. So if I can turn off the speaker here somehow.
Alex, are you watching the stream at the same time or something? Or?
No. I'm in the StreamYard. I know we did this once in the past and there was no issue, but yeah, it's like they can hear me now, but there's massive delayed effect for me. So I wonder if I can turn off the speaker for StreamYard. Like if I make it like this. Okay. Now that could fix the problem. Okay, someone say something.
Hello.
Yes. I'm telling Zherka that
Okay. Okay, I think that actually that might have fixed the feedback.
See if there were headphones.
No, wait, you could. I'm not wearing headphones right now. It seems to be working.
Okay.
What's
Hello,
up?
Zherka. Can you hear me?
Okay, I think
Hello,
Joe.
John.
I think I got it to work.
You got to work. Okay, that's good. What did you do?
I just changed the output of the audio to a setting that's not existent, so that basically there's no output on my end, so that the sound doesn't loop. Just double check to make sure it's working fine, and then that's it.
All right, I'm gonna hang up this call and then watch the stream because it's kind of like confusing to.
Yeah, I know.
Call. One sec.
All right, take care, buddy. All right, cool. Oh, now my browser's going crazy. All right, so I think I should be good on my end.
Cool. Let's see. If you're able just a little bit, if it brings you away from your there, that's better. Right there, Alex, is the best camera feed I can get of you, just because I don't want to have you be too zoomed in unless that's your preference.
For me?
Yeah, you're good. You were good right where you were. It was just
All
for a little bit there. It was a little bit too close.
I got you.
It will be so fun. You won't even believe it. Now, just a heads up that if you guys happen to mute yourselves, like let's say you have a fire truck come by and you want to mute yourself, I got it set where I actually have to unmute you. So I would mute yourselves as little as possible, because otherwise I got to go over to Zoom, and it's not a big deal. I can do it in like a lickety split, but it's just that I'm not used to it. So, and then let me just get these last two windows in and we'll be ready to go. It's going to be tremendous. So you've talked before, Hunter and Zherka, right?
No, we were going to, but my wife got sick.
Okay. Wow. So first time for you guys. This is the beginning of your friendship.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Very special. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first start streaming to be sure the connection is good. And then what we'll do is in about a minute, once I've got all these pictures set within OBS, because I have to set them up each time, I will go on screen and I'll say, hey, everybody, today we're debating whether or not men today are more wimpy, and we're starting right now. And then we'll jump right into it. Which team would like to go first?
I'm down for whatever.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm fine. I don't really care.
We'll have the yes side go first. Hey, folks. Right now, we're just setting up. So we're going to be starting in just a few minutes. Thanks for tuning in. We're excited about tonight's debate. And I'm just setting up a couple of last things here in OBS, and then we'll be off to the races. So, but yeah, we'll have the yes team go first. Who on the yes team would like to go first?
We should let Zherka go first.
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
It's very sweet of you, Hunter.
Thank you.
And let's see, is that your way of showing him honor because it's the first time you guys are meeting Hunter?
No, it seems appropriate considering he was late here. So
you got it. All right. Let's see. And then getting the last picture in here, and then, but yeah, thanks for being here, you guys. I've got to double check that I've got you all linked in the description. If I don't, I'm going to do that right now while you guys are doing your opening. So, but yeah, I want to say thanks for being here. And if you have any additional links you'd like me to share, I'll share your main YouTube or Twitch, whichever I usually have a pretty good guess of which one you guys prefer. But otherwise, let me know if I can add anything else. And, oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Oh, that's right. Okay.
My chat is asking, what's the debate about? Okay, guys, just really quickly. It's about are men today or wimps? I'm going to argue generally yes, and I think the other team is going to argue no.
In some way, shape, or form, you guys disagree. That's about as much as I can get. I mean, we'll let you guys explain that. But yeah, that's roughly speaking, that's at least how we set it up. So what I'm going to do is let me check the cold open screen. Okay, cool. That one's ready. And then cool. I've got you guys all set here in OBS. So thanks for being here. What I'll do is, like I said, in about 60 seconds, I'll go, hey, everybody, today we're debating whether or not men today are more wimpy, and we're starting right now. And then I'll go with the yes team. In particular, was it Alex or John? John is going to go first. Okay, you cool with that, Zherka?
Sure. Yeah.
Cool. So I'll go with Zherka, and then yeah, you'll be off the races. Roughly, at most, if you guys take 6 minutes, each team will have about 12 minutes. And so if you can keep it under 6 minutes as an individual, that would be great. But like I said, here I go with that cold open. So I'm going to switch it over right now. Here we go. Thanks for being here, guys. 3, 2, 1, ready, set. Hey, everybody. Today we're debating whether or not men today are more wimpy, and we are starting right now with the yes side, in particular, Zherka. Thanks for being with us. The floor is all yours.
Okay, so hey guys, Zherka here, and today we're talking about, are men in 2023 wimpy? I mean, this goes without saying. There's like every single meme on the internet is related to this topic. Are men, like, let's just look at men coming out of high school. What are we seeing? Is dudes with butt plugs and furry tails, Zoomers that are furries, letting their girlfriends get fucked by other men. They're getting pegged. And this is like a common thing. They're getting pegged to impress their girlfriend that's not even theirs. I mean, they have an open relationship as they're exploring their gayness. And most of these guys aren't even gay. They're just trending, they're just going with the trend. And there's this softness to it where it's like, you don't really see like 1950s macho men anymore. You see this kind of like Hunter Avalon, mainstream media, Masonic media program, we'll call them neo males, where it's like all they want to do is play StarCraft, and they don't ever lift weights. They don't do anything manly. They don't ever like protect their tribe, and they don't fight for their woman. You see their women on subways getting beaten up, and they do nothing about it. And then you also look into the gynocentric world that we're in, and how in media, corporate, finance, every level of society, they promote this feminization of men. You see Gillette commercials too. They know 80% of the consumer market, the women hold the credit cards, so they make even feminine Gillette like razor commercials directed towards more feminine type people, because they know the world is changing. This whole, just to be masculine now is considered toxic. It's actually crazy. And they're giving us all these quotas, and they're trying to push from top down. They're trying to make this whole women can do it too. Men and women are kind of equal, and women can definitely join the military, but we're not going to make them do like 5 fucking pull-ups. They don't have to do any pull-ups to just join. And so when you lower the standards for women to make it more equal with men, because men are smarter than and stronger than women in every single way, on average, it's like, of course you're gonna see men lack masculinity when you don't incentivize for it. Also, I think it's something in the water too, in the food. Something's making these, like, Hunter Avalon is having some kind of fluoride water every day that made him go from right-wing trans hater, right, like the good old days, to, and I think that was bad. I think he was a very evil person for hating the trans community back in his day. But now he's like had enough of that soy, Florida atrazine water. Now Hunter has become this, I'll let anyone bang my wife type attitude. I don't know if he does that, but he's definitely on board with people being in open relationships and acting totally feminine. And it's like, when you think of your most confident moments in life, it was when you were the most masculine. When you think of the moments in your life where you had the least depression, anxiety, despair, it was when you were the most masculine. But now they're encouraging us to be little wimps, and it's kind of stupid that we're pretending, well, maybe it's not out there. The question is not, have men become wimpy? it's the real question is why? Because we all agree they've become very wimpy, especially since World War II, when men were men. But yeah, I'll give it off to someone else and make America great again.
Okay. Am I next? Or how does it go?
Yeah, you're next, Alex.
All right, cool. So I figured it would be very appropriate for me to wear my hardcore Russian hat, which I got for filming a video that we're going to do pretty soon. We're going to pick up girls as a Russian spy. But I think this is very appropriate for the topic. I'm going to keep my speech very short. I'm going to make 3 points why I think men are definitely wimpier today. And I think several of them are very objective. First of all, testosterone levels are lower than they've ever been for the average male. This is scientifically undeniable. You know, they've done tests on this. And on average, men have very low testosterone levels now compared to what they used to have. Testosterone is directly correlated to just roughly how manly you are. Of course, it's not the only metric, but definitely plays a role. You take a guy who has very low testosterone, he's going to be less manly than the guy who has higher testosterone. That's the first metric. The second metric is the incel rates. They're just way higher than they've ever been. We're at about 25% of men under 30 report being never having had sex, right? Back in the day, in 2008, I think it used to be like 8%. So yeah, so men are not having sex, right? Which again, because while women not finding them attractive, the testosterone levels are lower. And the third metric, this one may sound somewhat subjective, but every single girl I've ever interviewed, which is dozens and dozens, if not hundreds, have all said the same thing. Men today are becoming wimpier. They're not manly enough. You know, I like a guy who's masculine. A lot of these guys are not that masculine, and that's what's certain enough. That's why I'm single, blah, blah, blah. So I'm coming at it from a anecdotal perspective and also from a, you know, scientific perspective why men are definitely wimpier today. That's basically all I have to say. And I can take off my Russian hat.
You got it. Thank you very much for that opening. We are going to kick it over to the no side as well. But if it's your first time here at Modern Day Debate, want to let you know, folks, we're glad you're here no matter what walk of life you are from. As well as, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. We have many more debates coming up here at Modern Day Debate. And with that, thank you very much to the no side for being with us. The floor is all yours, Hunter.
Sure. Well, first and foremost, thanks so much for having me on here. So I know I'm on the no side of things, but I'm kind of more or less in the middle side of things. I do think that it really comes down to how you're defining wimp. So if you look at the definition of wimp, right, it just means an ineffectual, cowardly, and weak man. So weak, if we're talking about physical strength, similar to what Alex said, yes, then if we're going to measure wimpiness based on physical strength, then men nowadays are definitely wimpier.
You want to see weak. Try the mirror.
Okay.
This is our opening statement,
opening
Zherka.
as well.
Calm your tits, buddy.
Well, it's okay, Zherka. I know the estrogen levels are probably peaking over there, causing you to act all sorts of catty and bitchy and whatnot, but we'll get to that in a minute. What I was getting at a minute ago was just that what Alex said is that the testosterone levels are going down. They are lower than ever before, and that's true, partially because the type of employment that men are engaged in now does not require as much physical strength. So testosterone, being as high as it was, isn't actually as needed as much. Incel rates, though, another good example. I also think, though, that a lot of men are quote-unquote wimpy and cowardly because they are socialized to specifically be cowardly of themselves in a way. This idea that you need to suppress your feelings or suppress emotions is cowardly, ultimately. It might not intuitively seem that way, but it really is. It is cowardly to run away from real emotions that you are experiencing, and rather than dealing with it in a healthy way, try and just suppress it because you might make your crush a little bit turned off when she sees you getting sad. Like, that's the cowardly approach to go.
Forever.
So it's much better to instead just know. Zherka, chill, my friend. So again, it's much better to recognize your emotions, recognize the time and the place to express those emotions, and recognize the situation, obviously, and act appropriately. The last thing I'll say is Zherka actually brought up how nowadays masculinity is called toxic. And I've talked a lot about toxic masculinity. Specifically, I will concede right away that there are quite a lot of dumb cucks on Twitter who, yes, they will say anytime a man does anything they don't like, it's toxic masculinity. But toxic masculinity, what that's really referring to is a collection of social expectations placed on men that are actually harmful to men. Specifically, hey, you're a man, so you shouldn't cry or you shouldn't be showing these emotions. So in Zherka, you bring up the 1950s macho men aren't really around that much. I don't know if that's that much of a problem, because a lot of those guys, although maybe they gave the appearance of masculinity and physical strength, were emotional wrecks. They were abusive towards their wives. They were overall pieces of shit. This is not necessarily the type of masculinity that I think we should be going back to. So, long story short, are men nowadays wimpier? I definitely think if we're talking physical strength, yes. If we're talking emotionally, I think that we're headed in a good direction where men are able to be less cowardly when it comes to dealing with their emotions. Unfortunately, we're not quite there yet. So there's still a lot of socialization in regards to men being wimpy.
Thanks for that. We'll kick it to Ashley before we go into the open dialogue.
Howdy, howdy, hi. I'm Ashley, not your everyday Ashley, XOXO. Being the only female on this panel, I will just go with my take on this, obviously. I believe that masculinity nowadays is kind of defined by women, right? Arguably, if a man were to be his natural self, he'd be what? More sexual, observant, aggressive, decisive, physically strong, competitive, successful at work, blah, blah, blah. The same traits now, though, are being displayed by females, and it's being considered empowering. So I don't know that it's necessarily that men are becoming more wimpy. It's just that they're actually having to match women, basically. I think that that's where this whole argument comes from. And then if we want to talk about wimpy or aka masculine, right, you would say that like the definition of masculinity, there's not like it's very broad. It's just saying considered to be characteristics of men, marked or having qualities, features, etc., traditionally associated with being men, right? So I guess my main stance would just be that it's not that men are becoming more wimpy and less masculine. It's that the world is evolving, and there is a certain group or sector of men that are having trouble keeping up and evolving with them, because whereas used to they could be mediocre, now they actually have to be better than mediocre because more women are able to be better than mediocre. Okay, so the playing level and the bar has been risen, and you guys just have to kind of catch up. Another thing Zherka said about like, oh, well, there's so many men that he likes to talk about relationship styles, cucking and sexual preferences, being pegged, etc. I would argue that actually since the dawn of humanity, there's been a lot of hidden homosexual tendencies in men. I think that a huge thing, reason why this is becoming more prevalent or like known now is it's just simply technology. It's social media. It's the fact that we have all these videos and people and vlogs and YouTube stories available on the internet. It's becoming more normalized, but it's always actually been a thing. I'm sorry that threatens your masculinity, though. And I guess that would just be my biggest, my kind of take on that. I'll pass it off.
You got it. With that, we're going to jump into the open dialogue. Do want to say, folks, as mentioned, glad that you're here at Modern Day Debate. We are a neutral platform hosting debates on science, religion, and politics. We hope you feel welcome no matter what walk of life. And the table is set. Let's get to the main course.
Zherka, do you mind if I go first?
Unmuted you, Zherka. So Zherka, you should be able to, I'll click unmute again, just so you're able to unmute yourself, and that way you'll be able to talk. I will mute if everybody's talking over each other.
Zherka, do you mind if I go first? I have
Not at all. Destroy these fucking clowns.
Okay. All right. So first of all, this is a little bit of a random side point, but it's an important one. So Hunter, you said that testosterone lowers your physical strength. That is true, but it doesn't only affect your physical strength. It affects your overall mental well-being. If you have low testosterone, you are less likely to be confident and assertive. Will you agree with me on that?
I mean, if we're talking about like dangerously low levels, then yeah, that's fair. But if we're talking about like what's happening here, which is just a steady decrease of testosterone, that's much more so because of employment.
Well, we're talking, that's not necessarily true, but we're talking about the difference between a testosterone level of between like an average of 700 and 300. 300 would be not considered like dangerously low, you're going to die, but it is twice as low. And men who go on testosterone replacement therapy and me being one of them, report that afterwards that you do feel more confident, you do feel more assertive, you do feel more grounded, right? That's just a very common knowledge for anyone who's ever taken.
Because it's natural for men to have higher levels of testosterone than women. Okay, so when you say strong and confident, et cetera, what does that have to do necessarily with masculinity, though? Because I think you're mainly talking about like your sex drive and energy level.
No, I'm not. Because if we could show that testosterone is directly related to your confidence and assertiveness, and we can show that testosterone is,
I don't think you can though.
Well, you can look that up. I'm not as concerned about that, because if you're going to say that, hey, testosterone levels are naturally decreasing with every generation, this can be leading to men being less assertive, which can be detrimental, then that's fine. That's a conversation to be had. And again, I never really contested this even. I mean, yeah, the testosterone levels are going down. And if you're telling me it has
a bad thing?
Well, hold on. I'm saying if you're telling me it has a negative...
you better take a hard stance here. Is that a bad thing?
No, I don't need to take a hard stance. I'm trying to finish my first point here, so hold on a moment. What I'm saying is that if the testosterone levels are getting down to a place, again, where it's not healthy, then we can talk about that. But I never disagreed that testosterone levels are dropping. And if you're telling me they have problems with, or it can cause issues with mental well-being, then we should talk about that as well. But like,
that's directly related to the argument.
But what does this have to? So what can we do to change that then, specifically?
How can we change it for men? Well, largely for men, it involves their diet and their sleep and their physical routine, right?
So encouraging people to go exercise more. We would agree on that one, probably.
Right. I mean, exercise is a small part of it, but that's we're getting off to a side tangent. I'm trying to prove a point that men today are wimpier than they were back in the day. And the evidence I'm using for that is the fact that, it's beyond dispute that men have lower testosterone levels. And it's also beyond dispute that testosterone is directly related to your confidence. So if you have lower confidence because of your hormones, you are going to be more wimpy. Is that not so?
Sure.
Do you not think that though hormone levels in men and women are actually both?
Well, why don't we just look at? Why don't we look at?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's not.
Thank you, lady. Thank you for that. Why don't we look at? Maybe it's anecdotal, but let's look at Hunter. When he started YouTube, he was filled with testosterone. And then it slowly kind of just...
Why do you always go down to these like weird insults? You realize when I started YouTube, people... Wait, hold on. When I started... Well, when I started YouTube, my friend,
people... the only compliment I'll ever give.
Not actually intelligent.
People, when I started YouTube, people made fun of me for looking like an anorexic twink. Like,
right, but you didn't
no one said I had... No one said I looked
Hunter,
masculine.
you didn't have this,
I've never been a particularly masculine-looking guy, but I think that this is almost aside the point. I think
Hunter, you didn't have... When you started YouTube, you didn't have like a defeated feminine temperament. Mm-hmm. You used to actually speak different, sound different.
Yep.
It was actually like it's like
you used to be a loser gamer that never got laid, Zherka, and then you started deciding to implement toxic masculine talk into your game, and then get laid.
It's almost like I took Hunter's fucking testosterone. Because I became more, he became
every time we have these conversations with these red pill people, and you guys are so obsessed with masculinity, you inevitably end up saying something really gay sounding. It's always hilarious. But again, let's try to...
Where was the gay thing? Where
by saying you took away my testosterone, I don't know. It just sounded a little bit... It could have some innuendos there. But
and your obsession with getting pegged and weird cucking things.
No, but Hunter,
wait, please.
You're
let's stop.
Example.
Let's stop with the dick measuring contest here.
When Hunter, when you were successful, right, and a Republican...
I'm going to give you a quick chance to finish on, and then we do have to go over to Hunter.
Something in Hunter's psyche changed. Like maybe you watched
swallowed the load of my testosterone.
I know what it was, Hunter. It was your wife. Your wife softened you up.
It was when you were on your knees.
Your wife
turned you
into a Democrat, right, Hunter?
My wife. Actually, no, not at all. That's another really weird.
Really, she had no influence. Living with her and having a kid had no influence.
Can we
actually get back on topic?
Yeah,
we're gonna go back to Hunter. I got to give him a chance.
No, one in the chat. If Hunter's the perfect example,
I had no idea that
Zherka
was such a big fan or former fan. I'm sorry that I let you down, my friend.
I used to love you when you
Let's hear from Hunter. I got to put you on mute so Hunter can make his case. Go ahead, Hunter.
A better question that I would love to ask Zherka is specifically, does he believe that there are any forms of expectations regarding masculinity that could result in harm to the man? Does he think that's a thing?
No, I don't think masculinity can ever be harmful to the male. Ever. Even if your wife gets slapped on the subway by some, let's say a white guy, right? Diversity is our greatest strength, right? Someone slaps your wife and you go and fight these guys and they beat the shit out of you. 4 guys beat. that level of masculinity you displayed still was not harmful to you. It still was healthier to get your ass whooped and move and act than to be like, according to my calculations, I lost this fight.
Zherka, what if you get?
That's not what I.
Suicide rates among men
That has
in
nothing
the
to.
era
That was
you're
not.
talking about?
Yeah, no.
Zherka,
Also,
the era
yeah,
of men being great, the suicide rates are the highest.
This
How
is
about
why I
that?
feel like
All
people
males-
think Zherka's a troll, though, is because it's like our.
He is a troll. He's a self-admitted one, actually.
I'm not a troll. Here, I'll
Yes,
be
you
honest.
are. You admitted
Okay,
it. I
okay,
listened to you
lady,
say
lady,
it many
and
times.
lady,
My
lady
name's
and Hunter.
Ashley,
I
Zherka.
genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I swear to God, you both know you guys adopt retard positions. You know your liberal thinking is retarded.
He's so
That's why when you
emotional
guys debate it,
today, my
think about it,
friend.
every
I'm so
time you guys
sorry,
have to
dude.
debate your position,
I thought we were
you have
actually
to
going to
do
have a
this.
debate. I didn't realize this was just going to
This
be
is
like.
Well, I
all
thought
you
that
guys know how to
Zherka's
do.
skyrocketing
Talk about
testosterone would surely amount to a
Gaines'
vast
point.
Fine
amount of
masculinity.
knowledge.
I just
but
don't know what
unfortunately, it's
masculinity
just-
is.
All right, can I
All right, I
redirect?
have to do this.
I
What
redirect?
I'm going to do is I'm going
Please,
to
Alex.
mute you guys, and then we will restart. We haven't heard from Alex. If you've got a point you'd like to make, I'm happy to have you. Otherwise, we haven't heard from Ashley for a while either.
It's actually a question for Ashley. Ashley, what percentage of men that you've met up with in the last, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years would you say were not masculine enough to turn you on? Just give me your, like, honest answer.
She hasn't had a man in years.
Oh,
Am I
Ashley's had a few
muted or
guys.
unmuted?
I've got to
I
give.
can't-
Go ahead, Ashley.
Okay. What percentage, I guess? I know you love your percentages, Alex. I don't know exactly how to give a percentage, but
Just
I don't know
ballpark.
exactly. I don't know exactly what you mean. Met up with, like, from online dating,
That you
et cetera,
thought were,
like-
yes, men that you met up with from online dating that you thought were
Mhm.
too feminine. They didn't turn you on. They weren't dominant enough.
Probably half and half, 50-50.
Okay, that's a pretty good amount, right? 1 out of 2 guys is too feminine to turn you on.
Yeah, I guess, see, I see what you're doing, but you'd have to, like, define feminine. I don't know that I would say it was feminine or that he had characteristics or traits I didn't like. Yeah.
Well, it seems like your initial response was 50% when I said feminine, right? Or when I said not
Well,
masculine.
that's because you and I know each other really well, and I know what you mean by feminine versus masculine, arguably. But I'm just saying, like, for the sake of the debate.
Here, can we
exactly do you
define
mean?
the terms? How about this? Okay, and I'll
Well, yeah,
go
I
with.
did in my opening statement.
Well,
kind
you're
of.
wrong. You have CNN.
No, it was
talking.
from the fucking
Your-
internet from
Your
several
CNN,
sources.
your CNN definitions are wrong.
No, it's
Let's use-
Webster's.
I'm kind of just
Hunter,
sad
what
we're
percentage-
derailing because me and Zherka
Okay.
were actually in an interesting. Because
Wait, Hunter, I have a quick question for you. What percentage of men do you think are too feminine to turn a woman on? If you had to take a guess, Ashley thinks about
80%. 80 fucking percent.
I would put it.
This
I
sounds
would
like
put
a
it
question
around 70
Zherka
or
would have a
82.
better answer for you for.
Well,
Zherka,
but no,
how
I
many
know
men
what's. I know what's.
Zherka,
How many men
would
are
you-
sexually
how-
active, Hunter?
Zherka, how many men would you willingly swallow a load of their testosterone for?
I don't want my career to go like yours, so I'm not joining the gay
Are
side.
they particularly masculine or feminine men? Are
Your
they
career.
But
I mean,
it sounds
like
like
yo,
Zherka said you don't
yo,
think
Hunter,
any
hold on.
masculinity
While
can
you're
be.
being cute, why don't you admit living with your wife made you a Democrat?
Well, do you want me to admit
Admit
that
it.
for the
Just
sake
admit
of-
it. That's the only missing variable. Admit how
do
you
you have
fucked
like a
up.
strange
So
Well,
fetish
this
to
is
hear me
coming from
say
a
that?
guy
Do you want
who
me to
has
lie?
not
What
to
would
fuck
you
up
said
like?
as
that
hard as
he's
you.
got to go out
How
of the
did you?
country to get a wife.
Hold on,
because
hate to
it's
do
so
this,
Is
awesome.
but
this his
just because we
wife?
have too many.
Are you
All
his
right,
wife?
He's
so
gonna get a mail.
I enjoy muting all of you
we
sometimes,
just got
but
muted.
what I'm going to do is, just to be sure we have some order, let's go to either Hunter or Alex, just because. Let's just cool it down. Okay, so here we go. 3, 2, 1. Alex or Hunter, do you have a preference?
Yeah, I would just like to respond very quickly, if that's possible, to Zherka, because
Oh, that's right. So I just clicked unmute, so you have
I'm
to.
good now. Yeah, actually, this is
Am I
another thing I
still
wrote
muted?
down while Hunter
Oh,
was
I
giving
see.
his opening statement. So I think you're making a bit straw man argument of what it means not to be wimpy. And the way you defined it is like, well, it's not a good thing that men are now feel like they have to hide their emotions. But at least not me. That's not what I think it means to be masculine, right? I think it's more about having courage. It's being not afraid to go for what you want. In a date setting, that would mean not being afraid to kiss the girl or not being afraid to lead, which is something that women desperately say that they want more. They want guys who are more confident, more assertive.
You're
or
right.
more
They
equal.
actually they want guys not even who are just.
I'm so sorry. I genuinely didn't hear that.
I got to disagree with my own
Just to
teammate
build on
here.
what Alex said there is, you're right actually that women do want a degree of confidence or whatever, and they also want a degree of emotional connection that a lot of guys lack.
Yeah, women want a
They are
2016
unable-
Hunter
they're-
Avalon.
they're oftentimes unable to. Did I break your heart, Zherka? Are you okay, my friend?
You're a traitor, fuck. That's what
A
you
lot
are.
of the times, like we
You're
talk a lot about
Judas.
how
Hey, Judas, get to your
Hold
talking
on, we
point,
have to
Judas.
hear from.
we
Let's
talk a
go,
lot about how
Hunter.
women will initiate more divorce, which is true. But a lot of the reason for that is specifically because men are not able to meet their emotional needs, which I don't blame men for that because they are socialized to suppress their emotions. So I almost feel like we could come to middle ground here, Alex. If you're saying low testosterone rates can contribute to a lack of confidence, well then yeah, maybe we need to start talking about healthier diets, exercising more, et cetera, because
I do
you
that
need
all
to
the
still
time on my
have,
channel.
well, hold on, because you need to still have enough confidence to be willing to be vulnerable at times with your partner if you really wish to see that relationship succeed. So I feel like if anything, we could agree.
Well, you're talking about more about like long-term relationship success, which is fine, but initially to even get your foot in the door, right? Emotional vulnerability typically doesn't start until a little bit later until you guys start.
Wait. Can we let's just define the scenario. Hold on, let's just define the scenario. Hunter, would it be okay if I go to my fiance and let's say I lost my job? Can I be emotionally vulnerable and start crying? Honey, I got fired from work. Is that okay? Can I cry in front of her right there? Is that cool?
She's at your house, you come home and you start breaking down saying, I lost my job and I'm really concerned.
Yeah, do you recommend I do that?
I don't know if that's the kind of dynamic. I mean, if a guy wanted to do that, if that were the type of relationship dynamic, there's nothing wrong with that.
You think really? You think that's going to increase her arousal?
Do you think that every time you talk to a partner, your goal is to increase their arousal every single time?
I mean, you definitely don't want to decrease it. You're either winning her or losing her.
When you call your girlfriend, are you like, oh no, I can't ask for extra toilet paper?
So wait,
That's
Hunter,
totally gonna turn her
Hunter,
off.
when your career completely
What am I
fell
gonna
off,
do?
did you cry to your wife?
I'm about to go cry to my wife after this conversation because you are breaking me, my friend.
Do you recommend young men do that? Honey, I lost 100 million followers because I'm afraid to get banned.
I think that the notion that a man shouldn't cry and should never be emotionally vulnerable is incredibly detrimental for men's overall well-being. It is a clinic.
Well, I'm saying
hold on, wait,
job.
Zherka, shut the
I'm
fuck
saying
up.
for a job.
It has been
I'm saying for a
clinically
job.
demonstrated.
You lost a job.
Be quiet.
You lost
it
a
has
job.
been
Can you cry?
clinically demonstrated that both men and women both experience about the same degrees of emotions, as in biological brain chemistry responses. Only men, for some reason, arbitrarily, are expected to suppress that and never let those emotions out in a healthy way. And this is a medical fact that suppressing emotion as a coping mechanism contributes to more suicidality, higher risk of depression, higher risk of emotional instability. You're more likely to be sporadic, which is a big reason why men commit more suicide.
I'm not disagreeing with any of that, Hunter, but I think you're
I know that you're not disagreeing. I was talking to Zherka here in this case.
Men and women also experience a different type of emotions, right? Like men typically experience more like anger, and that is considered much more appropriate for a man to express than, say, sadness, right?
But
women,
anger's a
expressing
secondary.
anger, she gets called a Karen, right? So
Yes,
there
you're
are
right, but that's
different types of emotions.
Yes, but a lot of that is a good example of the social, like almost a problem with some of these social expectations. You're right. When a woman gets mad, she's being bitchy. When a guy gets mad, he's being passionate and tough. You're right. These are negative expectations. But what was the first thing that you just said here? Because I think that I forgot what you had said there a minute ago. You said that you don't disagree with me that men.
I don't necessarily disagree with the argument you made about like massively like suppressing your emotions could lead to detrimental effects to men's health, but I feel like that's completely irrelevant, or in some ways largely irrelevant to the topic at hand, because we can all agree that initially, in order to get your foot in the door, you have to be confident, you have to be assertive, right? And you can be as emotionally vulnerable as you want. You can be super in touch with your emotions, but if you don't have that confidence, you don't have that assertiveness, you're not going to even be able to get to a point where the girl wants you to be emotionally vulnerable with her. And it's if a lot of men nowadays are less confident, less assertive, then they're not even able to get to that point because they can't get in their foot in the door, which kind of is explained by the fact that there's way more incels right nowadays. Like, why could that be? I mean, we can talk about technology and whatnot, but I think part of the reason is that men are less confident. Therefore, when you're not confident.
Why are men less confident? That's the point I'm trying to make this whole time.
I think Alex is getting at that because testosterone's lower, we're seeing less confidence.
I don't think that's the only reason. I don't even know if that's the main reason. I think it's one of the reasons.
Well, I think that it is one of the reasons for sure. And I think that another one of the reasons, though, is also economic, that like men right now don't have the same degree of opportunity that they had prior, especially because of
the physical labor jobs becoming far less pertinent. That is definitely contributing to some negative effects for men as well. But when you talk about how men feel anger more and whatnot, this is something that I'm not trying to pull the actually meme here, but actually anger is a secondary emotion. So it's a real emotion, but it only stems from a more fundamental foundational emotion. So if a man is expressing anger and aggression consistently, it's oftentimes because there is an underlying more
Insecurity.
foundational emotion. Well, I don't know if insecurity would be
I
technically
think it's
like an
insecurity
emotion.
and a sense of inadequacy.
All right, so can we all agree that men on average are less confident and assertive than in the past?
Yeah, I
Sure,
do
but
agree.
I
I
don't
do
think that
agree a
that's
little
one.
bit on that.
I can agree enough, but I don't think that's entirely always a bad thing, because sometimes what it meant to be assertive was you go slap your wife in the face because
We're not
she was
talking
late
about
with
that. We're not.
making dinner.
That's not. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about like being abusive. That's not what I'm talking about.
Well,
When I be
1950s macho men, that would be kind of like in that category.
okay, that's not what I
I
think.
think
of
yes, but
assertive as
I
a
think
woman.
here again, I just want to say, like, I really do think it's because of evolution. Evolution is a thing. We all know it's a thing. It's scientific. I think that our society is evolving to be more equal between men and women, being able to have the same rights,
Are
the
you saying
same.
it's biological evolution?
It is a type of biological evolution and societal evolution, both.
It can't be biological because biological evolution.
Well, you just
hundreds of
said
thousands
like
of years.
testosterone levels. Our
Right,
levels
but
of
that's not
hormones
because
not
but that's not
biological.
no, that's not because of our DNA, right? It's not because our DNA has evolved to have.
Well, it's still a biological response. It's
It's a
something
biological response.
and
I'm just clarifying. It's not evolution, though.
No, when she speaks, I
I
feel like
said two different things there.
Yeah, it could be.
my
It could.
guy.
You can make an argument
I
that's
said two different things.
that it's social
could-
evolution. It just can't be biological evolution.
I could make an
Okay,
argument that Ashley evolved backwards.
I can give an argument that Ashley's barely said two words, and every time she does, everybody says the woman's interrupting. But you know, toxic masculinity.
To be fair, Ashley, you interrupted me before the debate even started when we were first chatting over Zoom. So that is why I was a little bit extra annoyed right away. So it is
I
true
actually
that
didn't notice
to
it from
those
you at all. James.
hold
My
on,
bad.
you're still interrupting me now. It is true that I did during the debate could say jump on you early, and that was the time when I deferred to Alex or Hunter to speak. It wasn't because you're a woman. It's because you interrupted me before we even, like, I think it was before we even started live streaming. And I was just amazed at how you just didn't even seem to be aware of it.
I wasn't aware of it, and I am having trouble hearing. So I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to. I was actually referring to the chat when every time I
It
said
could be a
anything.
zodiac alignment. It could be, that time of the.
All right, Zherka, we have to keep it within terms of service.
Right.
You
So I
talking
just
about
wanted. I want to
someone's
go back
time of the month, like it's getting close to like me
No, I
having
was
to
talking
boot
about.
you for
I
violating
wasn't
terms of
talking about.
service.
I was not talking about periods. I was talking about zodiac alignments. I said zodiac alignment.
Okay.
I've read over 100 Freemasonic literature books, and really nobody really understands that masculine and feminine. These are temperaments. To be masculine is to be active, like the solar, like the sun. To be feminine is to be lunar. It's to be passive.
Maybe
That's
that
why
should
women-
be, maybe when you say like that's that time of year or whatever, like, or that time of the month, meaning the planetary alignment thing, maybe that should be against TOS just for being so incredibly stupid, like sounding like the My Little Pony next episode. Perhaps it should be against TOS
moderator,
just
can
for
I
the
tell-
sake of misinformation.
Can I tell? Is it sexist if I tell this girl Hunter to go to the kitchen?
I don't know.
You identify as a boy, right? All right. So here's what I'm trying to say. Okay, please no interruptions. Hunter, you agree men have become they've gotten softer, like yourself, right?
Physically, men are not nearly as physically strong as they used to be, but I think
Right.
that men are also
Mentally-
becoming a little
mentally,
bit more
are these
emotionally, at
furries-
least stronger in the sense of recognizing
Like, can these
certain
furries
emotional
hang with your
expectations from
grandpa?
their
Can
neck.
these furries hang with your grandpa? If your grandpa's playing cards, can these furries play? Like, can they hang with your grandpa, or would your grandpa traumatize them when he starts?
Do you
maybe saying if
regularly
he's-
do you regularly think about hanging out with a bunch of furries? Are you sucking their testosterone also? Dude, come on, my friend.
I
Why don't you
hope
just
all
make an argument
4
now,
of-
okay?
I hope all 4 of your audience members are hysterically laughing. But do you think our grandparents can chill with the Zoomers of today? Can they even be in the same room, or would they look at them and say, "What the fuck happened to these pussies"?
I don't
Like, are your
wait, hold on.
grandparents
Why the hell
disappointed
would I
in
care
you?
about if my grandparents didn't approve of that? There's people's
I'm making the point that they got softer over time.
there's
Connect the
people's
dots, you fucking
grandparents that
idiot.
wouldn't approve that right now their granddaughter or great granddaughter's engaged to a black guy. Like, I
Right,
don't
but I'm
care.
not talking
Just
about- I'm
yeah, but
saying-
just if they think it's weird or crazy, or the furries look crazy, or these darn kids nowadays
No,
are
but we
different,
agree their
doesn't mean
testosterone's lower. We agree their testosterone is lower, right?
lower
Than our
testosterone,
grandparents?
sure, but that doesn't translate to being a furry necessarily.
Okay, maybe I'm using extreme, but like try and get there faster. Like just explore the hypothetical, you fucking retard. Okay, here's the point I'm trying to make. If we all agree men have gotten softer, I guess our only disagreement would be you guys don't think it's a government thing, right? Oh, it's a conspiracy from the government. You don't believe that, right?
Well, I don't believe that, and I also don't believe that just men blanket have been
Wait, so you
made
believe
softer.
governments want macho men? They want them?
Why would the government not particularly want macho men who can work labor jobs?
I mean,
it's
think
true that
of
they're
the
not as pertinent, but they're still relevant for the economy.
Is there anything more masculine than the revolutionary spirit? Why would governments want a masculine revolutionary society? They could just pitchfork them out of the fucking office. Of course, they want
revolutionary
weak Hunter.
spirit?
They want weak consumers like Hunter Avalon. Like you just stay online all day playing your little StarCraft.
You realize
They
there's
want hamsters in the fucking wheel.
there's a lot of like socialist girls even who are all like revolutionary minded as far as thinking we need to overthrow the capitalistic systems and whatnot.
Yeah, but they're women, so
what?
they'll never get it done.
No, but this revolutionary spirit sounds like a random arbitrary thing you are just deciding to define as masculinity, even though having a mindset in which you are supportive of a revolution is a commonality amongst political
Maybe you
groups,
need some,
whether they're women or men. So I don't understand even what that has to do with anything.
Maybe if you study, maybe just
let's
study
kick it
some
over to
Yuri-
Ashley. We haven't heard from
maybe
Ashley
study
for a
some Yuri
while, and I do
Bezmenov
want to be
and see what
fair. 'cause-
ideological subversion
Hold on, okay,
really
Zherka,
is.
shut
You're
up
just-
for a
you're-
second.
yeah,
So
you're not making any
we're gonna-
sense, my friend.
Well, let's kick it over to Ashley or Alex if you have any thoughts. We haven't heard from you for a while.
Alex, go ahead.
Okay, so it's actually a question. It goes to both you, Hunter, and you, Ashley. What is your definition of wimpy? Because I don't know if we're operating on the same definition. So I want to hear what you guys think it is.
Go ahead, Hunter.
Yeah, I gave it at the beginning: weak, ineffectual, and cowardly. Which is why I said that if we're talking about weakness in as far as physical weakness, then yes, men are definitely weaker. If we're talking about like emotionally weaker, I think in some ways maybe not. But again, the expectation that men should be cowardly and suppress their emotions and hide from the way they're feeling is absolutely wimpy. So yeah, there's definitely still some wimpy expectations.
Okay, Ashley, do you agree with Hunter's definition? Or do you have your own?
Sure, I agree.
Okay, your definition is pretty close to the one I have. It's basically not strong, brave, or confident, right? Which is basically the same thing that you said. So we have agreed, taking the being afraid to be emotional vulnerable thing aside, which is only a part of courage. We have agreed that men today are less confident than they used to be. Ashley, according to her own admission, finds 50% of the men not to be masculine enough for her taste. So therefore, is it really a stretch to then just say men on average are more wimpy? Not all men, but if we're doing averages, and if you agree that men are being less confident than they were, then therefore men are being more wimpy, according to your own definition.
What fucking metric are we using to measure how men are being wimpy and how they're not being wimpy? That's the thing. Like, we don't, other than the testosterone levels, which can we please, for the love of fucking God, move away from?
Well, the thing is I think this could. Sorry to cut you off, but I feel like this could lead to a really.
Cut me off.
I feel like this.
Hold on, but to be fair, to be fair to Ashley, what have you got, Ashley?
No, it's all good.
I've been hard on you, Ashley. I do want to apologize. I want to say.
No, I mean, Alex interrupted you as well, James, like hardcore in the beginning, and you didn't say shit. So that was kind of fucking out of left field. And I did take offense to it. And that was pretty shitty. You're a moderator. You're not in the debate. I'm just saying it did piss me off. I'm over here cooling down and collecting myself. I'm not fucking crying, but I am.
You got it. I appreciate you letting me know that. I don't remember when Alex interrupted me, but I will say Alex can attest, no joke. There was a one time when Kevin Wilder, and I felt really bad about it. It was after a stream ended. I think his name is Kevin Wilder.
Yeah, I remember that day.
And I had a temper outburst on Kevin, which I said, I was like, okay, I jumped the gun on that. So maybe it's timing, because that's, I think, what it was for Kevin.
I gave James too much of my testosterone, so we're gonna scale.
But sometimes so basically, I hadn't noticed Alex had done it. Otherwise, frankly, like I've reproved Kevin Wilder, who's a guy, and so Alex, being a guy, like I don't want to discriminate based on sex. It's just that, like I said, there was one time.
He also noted
let's
that
just
I
get
am
back
an
into the
ape,
debate.
and I should go.
I do want to say that, like, it is, I don't need sympathy points, and I don't need anybody to sit over here suck my dick, but I'm just saying, like, I'm one female versus a 4 male panel, apparently now. So
I'm not really disagreeing
hold on.
with you
I don't
entirely.
think that you're.
I think that
I don't think that you're like without a partner. I think it might be that Hunter disagrees on like a subtlety, but I think generally you guys agree. And Zherka and Alex, I think there's a
We
point
definitely, me and Zherka definitely disagree quite a good amount. So
it's
yeah,
kind of more like a
pretty fair.
to be
me
honest,
and
it's kind
Alex
of more like
agree
panel.
on a decent amount too. Because what I was gonna do when I interrupted a second ago,
I'm sorry. What I meant was that I'm the only
He also
female
noted that I am
here.
an
That's
ape,
all I
and
meant.
I should go F myself.
Okay.
I'm doing the same things that the males are doing, but I was the only one called out, so it's fine.
Yeah, to be fair though, like I said, I was pissed and I should have said it before the stream started,
Yeah.
that I was annoyed when you interrupted me prior to the stream starting. So when I noticed it during the stream, that was where I was like, okay, my gasket's blowing. But
My apologies, honestly, James, to that. My apologies. I'm always super respectful to you. At least I try to be. And I
I just
really
hope you
did
know,
it.
like I said, is purely just because of the pre-stream where I was like triggered. But so I get where
And
you're
then I
coming
got
from.
triggered. My apologies. as well.
And that's why even just one last thing, and I'll let you guys. Sorry, Hunter and Alex, and
I'm sorry too.
I'm not really sorry to Zherka. That's why I made it clear to everybody where I was like, okay, that probably did look like I was kind of coming down on you because you're a woman. But like I said, it really was just because of the context thing that I explained in terms of before the stream. So, because I agree that it
Understood.
looks like that, and it probably looked like that to other people, and that's why I like brought it up myself. So I don't blame you for interpreting it that way. Okay.
I appreciate you, James, and I do apologize I interrupted you. I really didn't honestly even notice
I know
did
you
it.
didn't even notice it. So, and that's the thing.
My bad.
Sometimes a person's like planning to say another sentence right after what they just said, but the person interprets. So go ahead, Hunter or Alex, or was it Ashley? Were you finishing a point? I can't even remember who was talking.
I'm good now. I'm totally derailed. I'm gonna take a minute.
I interrupted
like
because
to
I wanted
join.
to.
May
Well,
I
wait, because
join
I
the
was
group?
about to have some middle ground here with Alex, which I was simply going to
Wait,
say.
may I join, guys? Can you hear me? May I join the group therapy session with Ashley?
Okay, as long as you're not going to just make fun of somebody, I want to hear what Hunter's point was.
No, but we almost had tears there, James.
I promise I'm not
From
nearly as
who?
close to tears as you think. Go ahead, Hunter.
It's just, even if we were to go ahead and be like, okay, fine, then maybe we can kind of come to some agreement here that, yeah, men today are a little bit wimpier. Maybe they do have lower testosterone and that's contributing to that. Then that's like just the very beginning of the conversation, right? Because the next step is, okay, if we're going to say that men are wimpier nowadays, why? Why is this? You talk about men being less confident. I would not be surprised if a man is having very little luck with girls, is gravitating towards incel beliefs, if he doesn't have a job and still lives with his parents while he's in his early 20s. That's a shitty
What about
place.
me?
Well, hold on, wait.
What about
That's
me?
a shitty place to be in, and now guys are having a harder and harder time achieving mobility in the economy. I mean, we see women
why do
graduating
I do
faster,
so?
etc.
Why do I
like,
do so well
Because
with women?
Zherka, you are fronting.
I thought I have the
someone
incel
that you're
beliefs.
not
Why do women love me? Why do women love me? I have these
Because
incel beliefs.
because they're too afraid to tell you the truth, probably. But
What do you got,
that's
Ashley? Go
a
ahead.
conversation for another time, my friend.
Yeah.
Well,
and no
I think
woman's
that the
afraid of you.
reason, the question Zherka's asking, the reason that he thinks or whatever that women are so obsessed with him is, I mean, I've heard him speak about it because I listen to people that I'm about to debate before I actually go on and debate them, Zherka.
You're doing great.
Yeah, thanks so much. You're not
Zherka,
so much.
hang in
You're
there.
not. Yeah, it's pretty cringe.
Right.
But I think it's because he actually admits himself that he used to be this nerdy gamer dorky type that never got chicks, but then what he did is he started watching like guys like Andrew Tate and other guys that like say these like really toxic masculine things, toxic masculine, right? Where he tells the woman like, shut up, bitch, and like, I'm jealous the second I meet you, I'm jealous, and like just all this weird possessive stuff. And he kind of goes on to say that like that is his way using toxic masculinity as a weapon to essentially get girls into bed. Now, self-admittedly, he doesn't have any like serious like LTRs, and he's not looking for marriage right now. And he also says that when he is looking for marriage, it's going to be traditional, and it's basically going to be his family is going to pick his bride for him because of his ethnic background, and that's their traditions. So I would just say that like that it sounds a lot to me like he's setting himself up for failure in that genre. And he also admits to, I mean, very self-admittedly, he says things specifically just to be polarizing, just to, trigger responses and become viral. So earlier, Hunter, when you said, is this guy just a troll? Yes. Essentially, he is just a troll. The fact that he's trying to seriously debate this is incredibly humorous to me. And I'm done.
Actually, question, are you married?
I was married for 12 years.
And what happened?
Let's keep it on the actual topic at hand.
I
Even though I'd
got
love to hear
divorced.
about everybody's
Well, no, she said
romantic
that I'm
lives.
clearly going to fail with my long term. I want to know how she failed so I avoid the failure.
Well, it depends on your definition of failure, I guess. Would failure be that you actually did something organically for 10 to 12 years and then it didn't work out? Or would failure be that you
Yeah, that would be the definition.
Hold on,
Wasting
just to hear
12
her
years is the
actually
definition.
finish, Zherka.
or that you are actually like going through, basically an arranged marriage set up by your family, which I don't know a whole lot about, but I do. I did work with several people that were in arranged marriages. It seems typically the man still gets to kind of do what he wants to do, and the woman is like staying at home.
Why did you lie? You said Zherka's never had long terms. Yes, I have.
I said, as far as I could see from your content, you haven't had some serious long-term relationships.
Right.
I
right.
guess that you would have to.
All right,
define
give me
long-term.
some advice. I want some advice. Should I be less masculine?
I don't know. It just depends on what you're looking for. What are you trying to do? Are you just trying to kind of snow women over at the bar, look around at the bar, just be any guy that you want to be? So that you can get in their panties and like yell at them and say,
I want to manipulate
right before they
them
come, tell them that they're a stupid bitch? Or are you like actually looking for some kind of girlfriend? Or you even said yourself you're not good at sex. So like, I don't know. I kind of don't take guys seriously that like, it's like Myron Gaines who says the female orgasm isn't important. Like guys that say they're not good at sex. I mean, I know you admit or you claim you made a woman come by yelling at her across the room. I mean,
yes,
okay.
that happened. That happened.
I'm sure it did. I'm sure it did.
See, that's only happened to me a couple
Hunter,
times. That's only happened to me like a few times. Man, I didn't know that was a common occurrence.
Hunter, ask your wife. I once yelled at her, right? So now check this out. Actually, what can I do to be better at sex? I want some advice since we're going in on my personal life.
Well, I mean, you're the one
we
that
really
said-
don't have to do this. We could go back to. I hate to interrupt you.
Oh,
Ashley.
James,
I'm
let her
happy to
drown.
give him
James,
advice on how he
James,
can
they
be
try
better
to
at
drown
sex,
me.
but-
Let her drown. Let her drown. I want to hear her advice. After her 12-year failure marriage, I want to know what's the good sex.
I don't know how.
Well, the sex was always really wonderful during that marriage. Yeah, but
Even when he grabbed the ring and threw it in the ocean, was it good then?
you're just.
I feel like
really so.
You'll never stop
Oh my goodness.
masculinity from rising.
Well, Zherka, I feel like if you're really horny and want
cringe.
some erotic stories being told to you, you can just look it
I
up online.
feel like your
but,
wife
like,
is literally
you're-
attracted
All right,
to me. Your
we
wife is
can't-
literally attracted to me, like literally.
Okay, everyone's
Alrighty.
attracted to you, Zherka, but we do have to
That's
move
very
on.
Not
strange.
everyone, James.
Let's-
You've got a subway tattoo. You're definitely above me. You're right. You're above my pay grade.
I appreciate that. That's very kind. Alex, what have you got? You look like you're in deep thought.
No, I was just waiting for this little shit show to resolve. Okay, I'll move on to I guess answering Hunter's question. So,
Oh my God, she cheated on him.
what?
Okay,
Ashley
let's
admits
just
that she
let's give
cheated on
Alex
her
a chance to make his
ex-husband.
case,
When
his
did you say
argument.
that?
No, I actually
Okay.
never did, Alex. I didn't. That's...
Okay.
Oh, someone said it in chat, so I thought it was true.
Oh, well, definitely. Then you should believe it.
Anyway,
Someone
so
said that Zherka's ex said he only lasted 2 minutes in bed.
in my chat.
Well, he admits
Okay,
he's bad in
this
bed.
is-
I mean,
I
honestly,
told you guys.
Not
bro.
on topic.
I'm
Go ahead,
telling
Alex.
you, Hunter's wife and my ex, they got so much in common. They're both disappointed in me.
All right, let's go to Alex.
You know,
Alrighty,
that was a good one, Zherka. Nice, man. Nice. Go ahead,
Alrighty.
Alex.
Anyway, so it seems like, Hunter, you agreed to the premise that men are a little bit more wimpy, and I appreciate you acknowledging this. Your question was why, and I want to answer this. So I wrote down some notes while you guys were talking. So I think it's a very multifaceted thing. I don't think it's just limited to testosterone. I don't think there's one answer for it. I think it's multiple things. Here are some of the things that I think contribute to that. One of the things I hear from men that I coach is that they're really worried about being put on a girl's TikTok or Instagram. They're worried about like saying something and then they're going to be called out. This is a common fear I hear over and over again. A lot of men are socializing less. They're spending more time in front of their computer instead of like actually talking to people. And I think that's making everyone recluses. And they're following weird rabbit hole ideologies that didn't have the potential to exist 20 years ago before the internet was what it was, right? Even 10 years ago. You can, reference the Social Dilemma for documentary for that. And there are literally people who believe that approaching a girl on the street will get you locked up. There's actually people who say that over and over again. They believe it. They're like, hey, I'm worried that if I go up to a girl and I say, hey, I think you're cute, I will go to jail, which obviously is pure nonsense. So I think those are some of the reasons why men are acting more wimpy today.
Sure. I mean, the thing is
really
you can
good- I'm
ask
sorry.
James. Like I messaged him ahead of time. I was like, I mean, I kind of think that like we're on the right track as far as like telling men not to be cowardly when it comes to their feelings. But like, yeah, generally speaking, I think men kind of are still, struggling. And if we want to say that it's wimpy, then that's fine.
Really? We're on the right track? Isn't 80% of men not even sexually active? Aren't 80% of men trying to fucking kill themselves? They live in
What I was gonna
despair.
say here is
can't
that
even-
actually, well, first of all,
we can't even get a woman like Ashley.
Zherka, you cannot talk about men killing themselves when you have just denied the existence of toxic
Exactly.
masculinity, my friend. You're denying the
Excuse me,
cause
what?
of the problem.
I
You
denied
denied.
what?
Wait, you said that toxic masculinity isn't real. Toxic masculinity is currently
No, I said
contributing
it's
to
real
the
and we need
suicidality.
more. I said we need more of it.
Okay, so it's
Well, what-
contributing to
Hunter,
the
I think you're
suicidality.
Hunter,
No,
you're
it's
talking about when
not.
he said that we need to go back
All
to the
male
girl days,
suicide
and he's
comes
talking-
from Ashley, just a sec. Let the king speak. All male suicide comes from dating women like Ashley. Like, everyone knows there's a dead end where it's like, hey, man, we're not gonna make it. Marriage is not actually biblical anymore. It's just a piece of paper. We're not going to the gates of heaven
a
together.
shit
We're
show.
not going all together. And this despair fills their stomach. And that's when they start cheating and becoming like you guys, where like Hunter,
This
I
is
heard
why you
got-
don't add
get
anything to the
pegged.
conversation because
get
I'm actually
pegged,
trying
right?
to take you somewhere like a logical follow through.
Okay,
And
don't
you're just
take me to the room where
derailing
your
into
wife
some
pegs
long
you.
trolling
Don't
diatribe.
take me to the room where your wife pegs you. Put the sword away. Go ahead, Hunter. I'll allow you to speak now.
I don't even remember. Oh yeah, that's right. You were saying that you don't think that toxic masculinity is legitimate, even as far as the expectations that could be harmful to men. So I guess I'll just go back to what I said before, which is that it's a clinical fact that suppressing emotion is detrimental to your own well-being. Men are disproportionately expected to suppress their emotions. Men also are disproportionately committing suicide. We know from surveys that thousands of men all over the West, whether we're talking about Canada, the US, Australia, the UK, have admitted to suppressing emotions for the sheer sake of looking more manly. And I'm telling you right now, you don't get to have your cake and eat it too. You don't get to say, hey, I'm going to contribute to the disease, but I'm also going to whine about how bad we need to
But it's
cure.
not the disease.
You're spreading the disease.
It's not the disease. And
Yes,
you have to change it. The disease comes from the fact that men are surrounded by hoes. They know they're not getting married. They know they're growing old and alone. Whether they have $1 million or $100 million, their wife is not a virgin.
This
She
is what I
got
was going to say
fucked.
also is that there are more men now who are still living at home right now. Those are the men having the least amount of sex, which again goes back to what I was just saying. I'm not surprised.
And if they were more
if your
masculine,
confidence
would
is
they
lower,
have-
if your
would they
confidence is
get women?
lower, yeah, how are you going to go out and get a job? How are you going to have sex with a girl when you're living at home with your parents?
Okay, first of all, testosterone is the number one correlating factor to success. So saying like, well, maybe it's not it.
Most bullshit
Yeah,
thing I've
that's not a
ever
true
heard in my
statistic.
life.
What? Look
You
at the
are so
difference
full
from
of
men and
shit.
women.
Provide
Okay.
a statistic.
Wait,
Ashley,
just
help
if
me
there's
out.
a difference doesn't mean you get to
Ashley,
just
Ashley,
claim
help
it's
me out.
all
No, you're
testosterone.
horrible. Honestly, you're
Ashley,
horrible.
help me out. Help me out. Just
at
destroy
things.
me.
You don't know your stats. You are fucking misogynistic. You just say things
Wait,
specifically to
hold
trigger
on.
because
Send me your tears so I can drink them on stream, okay?
Wait, hold
Hit
on,
my PO
Zherka.
box.
I thought we were
Anyway,
just
hold on.
wait,
I'll
wait,
send
wait,
you
wait,
my
no, no,
phone
no,
here,
no, no.
actually, just
Because
oh,
here you
my
are. Wait,
period
stop.
blood.
Because you're over here
Hunter,
whining
Hunter.
about. Shh, be quiet.
Yo,
You're
Hunter's
over-
wife.
shh,
Get out of
shh,
it.
Be quiet.
Get out of there.
You're
Get out of
whining
Let's
there.
hear
about.
from Hunter.
Hunter,
Have we-
your wife's here. You're double teaming me, bro.
Have we not heard this whole time about how testosterone levels are going down? Testosterone levels are going down. Why are we seeing more and more men who are more and more successful? We didn't have billionaires back then. We have people that are
Really?
making more and more money nowadays.
Be
More and more
so
successful nowadays.
So making 100 million with crypto and some fucking NFT, but being an incel loser who's got no fucking woman, no family, that's successful.
No, but I'm saying that we're also
Well,
seeing
that's who you're talking about. You're talking
No,
about
I'm
those
not. I'm
nerds.
talking about
If you're
people
talking
like
about those nerds. Yeah, you are.
Musk, Bezos. We have people who are younger. I would have to look up the youngest, I guess, the youngest millionaire.
Can we
just
hear
making
from
shit up.
Alex
But
more?
like,
This guy's
there's a lot of
stupid.
successful men right now.
Like,
I
he's
think I can
dumb.
actually.
thought our
I think
product
I
had
can.
this
I
lower
think I can.
testosterone.
I think I can bridge the gap. Honestly,
Thank you.
Zherka, the first time we had a discussion, I think you told me, correct me if I'm wrong, that you're not a fan of the stigma that exists for men to get mental health help. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, I mean, my twin brother is a therapist, and he told me there are actual liberal therapists who you pay them a bunch of money and they give you a liberal advice. They say sometimes you just gotta pat yourself on the back. And so he has a master's degree, and he said it's very scary when choosing a therapist. If you go to someone who's completely blue pill and stuff like that, you're getting scammed to oblivion.
Okay,
So
but
I
assuming
said-
you, assuming you don't go
somebody
to
like Zherka.
assuming
instead.
you don't go to someone who's blue pill, assuming you go to a therapist like your brother or someone who's competent in what they're doing, then you would not be a fan of the stigma that would exist for men to go see someone like that if they're struggling, right?
I let's just go back to the example of, do you tell your wife you lost your job and cry like a bitch in front of her?
Wait,
I don't think it
yeah,
works.
wait,
I
hold
think
on.
she'll be drier
If
than
you
the
lose
Sahara.
your
She'll
job,
be
you
drier
better
than
damn
Hunter's
well
wife.
tell your wife that. And if you are gonna choose to keep
No,
it,
you
a
can tell her
secret-
Hunter, you're giving young men the advice of, yeah, you can cry in front of her because you lost a job.
No,
as a
no, no.
little
My
kid.
advice is that hey,
No,
if
you
you're
already doubled down
no,
on that.
If you're
Hold on.
in a marriage, okay, you should be able to be vulnerable with your partner. Yeah. If you lose your job and you get emotional talking about it, your partner
Okay,
of all
then
people.
why? Then
wait,
what's
just shut
then,
the fuck up, please.
Then
If
explain
your partner of all
explain
people,
the divorce rate.
Hunter is right. We have to give him a chance. I appreciate your energy and your passion, Zherka, but we do have to give Hunter a chance to finish the point.
Okay,
But you appreciate his energy and passion.
Your partner of all people should be the one who you can confide in and can be vulnerable with. Again, it's not. Hold on. It's not about crying all the time. It's not about breaking down about every single thing. It's not about. It's about having emotional intelligence. Okay, that's all. It's just recognizing the situation and acting appropriately. If you're home alone, it's a late night, and you're feeling emotional, and you lost your job, well, the time might be appropriate to be vulnerable. And if you feel that you can't be vulnerable with your partner, then you're in a fucking loser marriage, dude. You're in a toxic relationship. You're probably getting cucked also.
But we can bridge the gap. Can we agree that maybe there's that most things about masculinity are good, but maybe there's like at least one thing that's like probably not the best. Like I think that Zherka, you do agree that the stigma against therapy isn't a good thing, assuming this therapist is competent. So I think the point that Hunter's making is that, hey, listen, if there's a stigma, then that would technically be part of toxic masculinity, right? Even though that's for guys, but there's still the point is that that's like one thing that's a traditional.
No, he's still running from it. He's still running from it. Where Alex, the idea, like when you look at the divorce rate and how high it is, the idea that everyone is this blue pill zoomer, Hunter, Avalon kind of has like this like trans identity going on or whatever he's got going on. Everyone's like this, and everyone has problems with their wife or their fiance or their girlfriend. Everyone is breaking up, and they're all doing the same thing. They're all going, honey, I lost my job, and crying. But then you have these toxic types like me. And when's the last time anyone left in, like, when's the last time I got dumped? Because check
First
this
and
out.
foremost, you not getting dumped because some woman is terrified of being thrown across the room by you and does not actually speak.
Let's hear the last little bit from Zherka, and then we'll go to you, Hunter.
I was just going to acknowledge, like, Zherka, there's an element of truth to what you're saying. Like, there was a study that came out that showed that men who have traditional gender roles are having more sex than men who are not, right? So what you're saying is generally backed up by science and some.
No, it just depends fully on what study you're talking about. Was this one on benevolent sexism?
I don't remember. It's an older one though. It was from France too. It was a European study. But they looked at like tens of thousands of couples. But
France is gay.
The point is, the point is, sure, I agree with you on that point. But then, like, going back to the therapy thing, like on that one, you do have to like kind of agree that that's like unfortunate.
Yeah. Talking to your therapist about losing your job is way more beneficial than drying up your wife till she cheats on you with a BBC. Do you know how big a black guy's cock can be?
Okay, so second time of you saying something gay now. That's very cute. Can we go back to what a second ago? So you're talking a lot about how marriages aren't working out and whatnot, but again, you're saying there's no such thing as toxic masculinity, or if there is, that there's not enough of it. You realize that a big reason why divorce happens and why women initiate it is because their emotional needs are not being met. Men lack...
really?
Yes,
like Steven Crowder's wife?
Because men lack emotional intelligence, because they don't even know how to navigate their own emotions, because their whole life they've been told by dumb fucks like you that shedding a single tear at their mom's funeral means their crush won't ever like
I didn't
them
say
back.
funeral.
Okay,
I said
so
job.
a lot
Don't
of the
change it. Look how you change it.
No, a lot of the times I'm being
I didn't say
hyperbolic.
funeral.
Dude. Hey, I'm being hyperbolic. Okay, can you take? If
Okay,
you can't take the heat, get out of the
that's-
kitchen, troll. All right.
No, that's evil. You
Can't
know,
take
if
the heat,
someone
get out of the
dies-
kitchen, troll. All right.
If someone dies, they can cry, but like maybe don't like go overboard where you get pegged like Hunter and his wife. Go ahead.
All I'm saying
Have you
is
gotten
again,
pegged, Hunter?
you are hold on. All I'm saying is again, you are contributing to the problem and then complaining about the problem. You can't do both. Pick one.
No, you're talking to Alex and me. That's why you think it's contradictory, you fucking idiot.
Yeah,
I'm saying there's not enough of it. My
I-
position isn't with Alex. Like I don't believe what Alex believes.
I'm sorry.
right?
Maybe I misunderstood, but I thought go ahead. Then maybe maybe I wasn't clear there at the last.
Well, I think you do agree with me about the therapy thing, though. I think we are in agreement on that.
Well, no,
And
what I was getting at with I think we're all in agreement with that. What I was getting at with Zherka though was just simply that if you're talking about like men killing themselves or men getting divorced and stuff like this, talking about
Yeah,
how we need
actually,
to have,
let's go back to that.
yeah,
You
talking
said
about how men need to have more stoicism and more of these toxic expectations need to be enforced.
No, they don't need stoicism. They need pettiness. They need to be more jealous. They need to be more like me, less like you, right? I bet that sword goes soft when you hold it. You just look weak. But let me finish. Don't
More
interrupt. Don't
pettiness?
interrupt. Hold on. Yes, more pettiness, right? Like a real man. So now stoicism, that's just fucking gay, bro. Now listen, my problem is you think that the male suicide rate has something to do with men suppressing their emotions because you read one fucking dumb liberal think tank study.
He
Like a
also
fucking
noted that I
retard.
am an-
I like
No,
how you
it
just
comes from
accepted the study that
all
agreed
male
with you a second
suicide.
ago.
One
That's
in
very
the
cute.
chat if you agree, all male suicide is the fault of women. Women have failed. Men feel despair. They're like, oh, I'm not having a family. And if I am, we're having a divorce and the statistics are against me and she's going to take half my wealth and blah, blah, blah. It's all from despair. The fact that you think suppressing your emotions is why they're fucking killing themselves is just fucking
No, it's a
stupid.
lack of expressing emotion. If you don't know how
That's
to
even
express,
worse. That's
yeah, if you
even
don't if
worse.
you don't know how to express your emotions and you don't know how to deal with what you're feeling, then yeah, it makes it way more likely that if you're partaking in that kind of a coping mechanism, that you're going to commit suicide. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
want to hear from
will-
Ashley.
I will
We
say-
haven't
I
heard
will
from Ashley
agree-
for a while.
Go ahead.
I'll go right back to you, Alex, but just because we haven't heard from Ashley for a while, go ahead, Ashley.
No. I just wanted you to unmute me. I'm listening.
What the
Sorry.
fuck, Ashley? Just speak. We're back on you.
Go ahead, Alex. What do you got?
She
Oh,
needs a
well,
pep talk, James. She
I,
needs a
I probably have like a middle position on this between Hunter and Zherka, but I mean, I do think that yes, like there are for sure cases where men suppress their emotions and that leads to their downfall. I can totally imagine that, and I think I've heard even anecdotal stories.
Yeah,
like
what percentage, Alex, of Hunter's cases?
well, that's kind of what I'm saying. Right, more with you. I don't think that's the biggest reason for why men commit suicide. Right. I think probably the biggest reason why men will commit suicide is
despair.
Is despair. I will agree with you.
Yes.
And how men and women choose to not even what causes it, but how men and women choose to act on that despair also is different.
Look
So
at him
men
trying to
are-
frame it. Look at him trying to frame it like the little weasel you are. Go ahead, little weasel.
Frame it.
Okay, so
it's actually
a lot of
analyzing
I'm gonna have
well, no,
agree and
dumb
change
fucks
it.
like
they're
you,
not
Zherka,
mutually
have this.
exclusive.
Well, Zherka,
They're
you
not-
have this very strange idea that if something is nuanced or complicated, and it kind of goes
Why is
over your little-
everything nuanced to you people?
Well,
Suicide
goes-
is nuanced?
when-
Suicide, you're saying, is nuanced?
Yes. Why somebody
it's
commits
typically
suicide
happens.
is a nuanced issue. Is this
Really?
Zherka's first
He also
baby
noted that
steps
I
in
am
the
just
real
hold on,
world?
hold on.
Wow,
If you
congratulations.
hold on,
Dude,
Hunter.
how
Let me
do you
ask
try
you
to
a
be a
question.
troll and you end up
Hunter,
just looking
hang
like
in
a
there.
fucking idiot the whole
Take
time?
the dildo out your ass.
Holy
If you
shit, this is
blanket
embarrassing
all,
for you.
if you hold on, Hunter, if you blanket all male suicide with the word despair, is that fair?
Well, they would all have despair, would they not? But why do they
Yeah,
have
that's
despair?
pretty black and white, you fucking idiot. Like, use your
But-
fucking
Well,
brain.
like, who
Where's the
wouldn't?
nuance
Who?
there? Where's
But
the
why
Yeah,
would
but
they
it's
have that?
despair.
Well, actually, there's more
Yeah,
things.
exactly.
There's
That's
more things.
that is a
His mom
blanket.
didn't text him back. And Ashley,
Zherka,
Ashley, don't.
Zherka.
Wait, what is the
Ashley,
point
how
you're
many
trying to make
chromosomes?
right now?
Despair.
How many chromosomes is
Despair.
Ashley at?
What? Wait, can Zherka please explain what the point is he just made? If you say
No.
it's
You
despair?
made my point for me that if you can blanket a whole demographic of people, you just hang on a
down.
sec, nice and easy. If you can blanket them whole with one category of despair, you made my point for me, you idiot. That
Yeah,
it
but
is black
Zherka-
and white. There's no nuance in the word despair. You're gonna add it like
Yeah.
actually his
No,
mom didn't
what?
text him back. He's suppressing
What?
emotions.
What?
2% of them
Wait, a
suppress their
degree
emotions.
of which the
Literally,
no,
this
no,
is
no,
what
the,
this is
dis-
like
the
getting tagged,
degree
bro.
by which
Losing
you
the
have the
debate.
despair to
L
initiate
for
suicide
you.
is going to vastly vary.
I gotta kick
Wait,
it over
Zherka,
to
can
Ashley
you-
and
How are
Alex.
you so, Alex?
I
I'm
gotta
sorry.
kick
we
it
have to
over.
go to
I was just gonna ask a question
just to
real
make sure that
quick.
we get over. Go ahead and Alex.
Oh, I was just gonna say this, Zherka, but can you agree that like two people could experience the same amount of despair? One of them might kill themselves, and one of them might not, based on how they deal with it. Like someone can deal with it way better than the other. So I think that's the point that Hunter's trying to make, is that of course, yeah, despair is a huge part of it, but some people deal with despair in such a way that they get through it, and some people deal with despair in a way that they kill themselves.
Ashley, any thoughts?
Yeah, Zherka, can you not admit that you're just literally trolling and saying the most like just absurd things for clicks and giggles, and like for the incels out there that you're just like, oh yeah, even look and say what I want, but you have absolutely zero evidence to back any of it up, because that's honestly what I'm seeing. Like you're just sensationalizing.
You're literally giving the I lost speech. Well, you must be a troll since I'm getting destroyed with the word
No,
despair.
you are. Your entire fucking
You haven't made
demeanor and
one
everything
point
you've
today.
said tonight.
Ashley, the only good point you made, the only good point we ever even talked about is that the dude after 12 years left you, right? But I'm telling you, everyone calls me a
Exactly. So
troll
here
when
we
they're
go.
losing. Challenge the argument.
You're
Challenge the
using ad
argument.
hominem
Don't
attacks.
challenge the
You're just
troll.
being
Challenge
bad
the
today.
argument.
You
So,
have
right,
you
I
have
have
big
absolutely.
reason
You're the one
why
who said
men-
I've never been in long term. I guess girls can't
I
stand
said that as far as I could tell from watching your content, I haven't seen a seriously long-term relationship
Sure.
from you,
Yeah,
and I've watched you yourself say that that's not really your goal right now. That your goal is just to
Actually,
kind of
attack the argument. Why don't you attack the argument? Is all
Why
male
don't you
suicide?
stay
Does
on
all
fucking
male
point?
suicide come
How
from?
about-
Do you agree that all male suicide comes from despair? The fact that they feel alone in the world.
I think that is a very fucking stupid as hell argument. Yes, most things come from despair, most negative things, right? Any bad feelings of myself, any thoughts of harming myself or others, yes, it
I said
comes
loneliness.
from despair. May
I said
finish?
loneliness.
Am I still
Not
muted?
not until I give you. I'll give
question.
you permission in a second. I said from loneliness. You agree?
No, you said from despair.
Yeah, despair from being alone, that they're gonna end up alone. Try and download.
What is
No,
this
you
guy
added that
doing right
later,
now?
You're
What is
lagging.
he fucking getting at?
Let's kick it back over to Alex and Hunter.
Yikes.
Idiot.
Yeah, go ahead, Hunter.
Let's see if Hunter and Alex, do you have a lot of disagreement between each
muted.
other?
I can't.
I think the only
Sorry, Hunter.
I think we only disagree when it comes to degree. I think Hunter primarily thinks that correct me if I'm wrong, that the main reason for like all the issues that we have is because men are incapable of processing emotions. And I would say that's part of the issue, but I would say that it's not the main issue. I think that's where we agree about the problem, we agree about what's going on, we just disagree about the degree.
Okay.
And I guess there's no way I can like scientifically prove that. I mean, that's kind of more like we're just gonna go off anecdotal experience.
Well, it's this interesting because we were talking a little bit about the suicide and whatnot, and Zherka was bringing up the despair thing. But like, so a big reason why men actually commit suicide disproportionately is not even that they are necessarily disproportionately suffering from mental illness. So this really interesting statistic, 60% of American males who died by suicide had no history of mental health issues. And so the reason that men are leading in suicidality is actually because of a lack of emotional regulation, and men are more impulsive. So women might be better at
And money.
processing. Right, women might be better at processing the problem, right, and trying to work through it. Whereas men, if they feel there's no way out, they're more impulsive. They're gonna fucking take the trigger and be done with it.
But
So
Hunter, I don't know if that's true because women try to kill themselves just as much as men. The big difference is that men typically succeed at it and women typically don't. So I don't. You'd have to say
No,
that.
it's not just as much, Alex. It's more attempts.
Oh, women. So okay. So if women are
Yeah.
more suicidal, if
No, I'm
women are
just saying.
more,
I wanted to.
if,
I'm not
okay.
saying why.
No, I
I'm
appreciate
just.
you clear. I appreciate you clearing
Yeah,
up.
I know.
yeah,
So if women,
but the
if
reason
women
I
are
did that
more
as a friend.
suicidal, if women are more suicidal, right, then that would kind of dismiss that whole thing that men about right. It just seems that men typically are.
no, because the reason they're committing suicide is going to be very different. So, like women, for example, might be committing suicide because of struggles in regards to body image,
They
which is far
don't.
more
They
something
literally don't.
which is something
Women
that's
don't
far more
commit suicide.
difficult for women than it is for men.
Are we gonna talk
What
about
I'm getting at
dragons
though is
too?
that
Because
well, what I'm
you're
getting
just
at
making
though,
shit up.
hold on, wait. What I'm getting at though is ultimately that the lack of emotional regulation leads to higher rates of impulsivity. So whether men are committing suicide at higher rates than women or not, men are committing suicide at high rates. We don't want men to kill themselves. So therefore, if we want men to have better emotional regulation and less impulsivity, therefore be less likely to kill themselves, we should be able to contend with this issue here.
Yeah, and Zherka, I'm sorry. I do have a point, if I may.
Yes, you may.
Thank you. Thank you, Zherka. I appreciate that. You're almighty king. But I will say that, like, I think that part of it, and this is kind of where again, I'm friends with Alex. Like, I watch a lot of his content. I like his content, and I'm a supporter of it for most of the. I think that you've represented yourself well tonight, Alex. Blah blah blah. So I'm confident
A
saying
star
that.
for Alex.
Yeah, Zherka, you're a fucking piece of shit troll. But what I'll say for this is that, like, Alex and people like him, not all PUAs, because a lot of pickup artists and dating coaches and that and the other that I found in the space tend to be kind of toxic. But one thing that Alex promotes, and Zherka, this is kind of it's all gonna come together because
Hopefully.
Alex, I'm sorry.
I said hopefully it all comes together, right? We're taking a long way home.
Are you done?
Oh yeah. Mine's
Oh,
short
okay.
and sweet.
Oh, you weren't done. Sorry, you're not. Are you? Can I
Bring it
talk?
on, Ashley.
Go ahead, Ashley.
Oh, thank
Zherka,
you.
let her
Thank you.
finish.
Okay, so one thing I will say is that one thing Alex actually contributes to things that I've seen in the male genre, the male space, is that he advocates for men talking about how they feel, men talking about why they feel the way they do, the things that are actually affecting them emotionally as well as physically, et cetera, et cetera. And even when he brought up testosterone earlier, right? Like, he was bringing it up as a way that, like, hey, we need to have better diets, we need to exercise more. These are all positive things. And these are the kind of men that I can get on board with. These are the kind of men that, like,
What?
me as a feminist, I can be like, you know what? Like, he's right. Like, men
Feminist?
do.
You're
May
a feminist?
May I finish?
Ew.
Let's hear the
That's
rest from
kinda
Ashley.
gross.
I'll give you
That's
another
gross.
30 seconds, Ashley, then we're going to
I'm gonna
move
puke.
to
I'm literally gonna puke.
anyone but John.
I'm sorry, I can't hear myself.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. So when I hear men like Alex and others, which I haven't really found many that in the kind of manosphere type space, which is where I discovered Zherka, I actually respect that because they are going for things that are actually productive and healthy and good, and they have a well balanced kind of sense of right and wrong and how we can fix this. Now, even if I might disagree with this person on, some kind of tiny little point here and there, I can honestly say that this is not a toxic, horrible human. People like Zherka are just toxic, and they're out there honestly just trying to get clicks, views, and likes because of the shit that they say. And that's where I just can't get on board. And I think that he contributes to the problem. And that was the point I wanted to make about, I guess, specifically the manosphere, since two of the people on the panel are directly from the manosphere. I thought it was relevant. Thank you.
Any other thoughts from?
I appreciate the kind words.
Appreciate the kind words too. I just didn't think it would take an hour and a half to build on that premise. Like, I'm glad you got it done, Ashley. But you could next time just say Zherka's a misogynist pig. You don't have to do that whole like
I don't think you are. I
Steve.
think you're a phony and a fake. I think that you pretend to be a misogynist pig. But
You took an
truly,
hour to
you're
admit
just a
you're
closeted incel
yo, this
that
feminist.
uses that as a way to get laid. Honestly, that's what I think. You
You took
use it
hey
as a way to
Ashley,
play a character
Ashley, I'm
online,
not your ex-husband.
self-admittedly.
I'm not your
But in
ex-husband.
reality, you're super insecure and you're kind of overweight. You've got a dad bod and a little pudgy
Yeah.
belly, and you're just kind of
Thank
icky.
you. Thank you.
And,
Ho,
and you
ho.
admit that you're bad in bed. So like these are the ways that you use. These are
Yeah.
the things you do and say in order to get laid. Like that's what I.
You know what's funny?
If you
It took
really
you an
wanna know,
hour. It took you an hour to admit you can't battle the arguments and that you've lost and you're triggered. And I'm
Right,
like,
you're so
why are you
right, yeah,
triggered?
because you
Ashley,
started by saying,
Ashley,
yeah.
why are you mad? There's
Okay.
a man who spent
Sorry,
12
I'm
years
done.
with you.
Hey,
There's a
Zherka.
man out there who spent 12 years with you. There's people who are rightfully angry that they wasted
Zherka.
their time.
Hey,
right?
Zherka, is it true? Did BX Bullet really sniff your boxers?
Yes, she did.
Okay. I just
No.
wanted to know.
That's a friend.
That's a prank. Oh, it was a prank. Okay.
No, I said it's a friend. Like, let's be honest, guys.
Oh, a
I'm not like
friend.
you guys.
Okay.
I'm not like you guys who are like, I hide my flaws on the internet to look like Ashley. Like, hey, I had a 12-year marriage, but it didn't work, and now I'm gonna give feminazi advice. I give you guys my flaws. I even tell you the girls that I've been with. That's how transparent I am. But I'm telling you, you guys are not making arguments for your side.
Well, the thing is I
hold
tried
on,
to
hold on.
talk.
Hunter, you guys conceded that men have become wimpier. Thank you, I guess. And now you guys just got to admit that you kind of enjoy this. You want to fit in with your little beta males, right? You actually want to play your little you guys play, you probably play checkers, not chess. You guys just don't have the IQ. But I'm saying, like, you guys want this soy world. Alex kind of doesn't, and I can't live in your world. You guys are going to hang me. I can't let
It's
you
just
guys
weird
have power.
that you talk about how you're a big, tough Sigma
Are you saying that
alpha.
because I'm half black?
I said it's kind of weird how you talk about yourself like you're a big, tough Sigma alpha male because you're open about your flaws, but yet I was open about my flaws and you called me
Yeah, but hold on.
Remember, you called me Judas for leaving the right when I was open about my flaws. So it seems as though you're fine with flaws as long.
Let's hear it right now.
No, it sounds as hold on, wait.
Give us the reason right now on record. Why did you leave the right? Give it
There
right
was
now.
not one reason why. There were multiple reasons.
Oh
One of
my
them being that the
God.
right wing prioritizes
Your wife
conserving.
brainwashed you,
One
bro.
reason being that the right wing aims to conserve tradition, even if it's at the expense of other people's rights. For example, conserving traditional marriage is more valuable to them than allowing for gay people to have their rights, their 14th Amendment rights. Be
Oh, you're
respected.
gay?
That's just one reason why, though. If you want me to give you some other ones, I can. But I
Hunter,
don't know why
you left.
you're
You
so
left because
desperate to
afraid
try
of
to like
getting-
get me in a trap, and you failed every time. And
It's
really,
not a
very
trap,
funny.
dude. No,
He
dude,
also
you were
noted that I
born
am an
in a
ape.
trap.
I
Okay, you
actually
don't
don't
have the
F myself.
DNA for
I
debate.
think
I'm
that
sorry.
Zherka, I think that you are someone who is very unintelligent, and I think that you come on and do things like this because it's polarizing.
Don't cry,
people,
Ashley.
and
Hold the tears in.
I am. I'm doing a good job of that.
Embrace
James
your
is really
toxic
the one that made me
masculinity.
want to cry tonight. To be honest, not you. You're irrelevant to me. But I do think that you, honestly, truly, like you have huge insecurities, and you also have these idealizations
Maybe
of
my
being
insecurities
somehow
come.
like,
Maybe my.
I'm talking. Do you know how to let anyone else talk? Like
I just
I know
got bored.
I'm
My
just a
bad.
vagina
I
over
got
here,
bored.
but
All right,
may
go
I-
ahead, Ashley.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
thanks for allowing me to do this. I appreciate it so that you can actually come back at me. But I think that you are an incredibly toxic
Fast forward.
male, and you do this as a way simply to try to A, get laid, B, become kind of polarizing on the internet, C, get likes, views and follows. And D, here's the right, and you're doing a good job. Proud of you. Kudos.
Okay.
But here's the thing is that you are attracting the type of male that like honestly believes the fucking shit and rhetoric you're saying when you're just playing a character. You are playing a character online. Like, in all honesty, you're
I
just
agree.
a big fucking nerd who never got laid until he was 20, and now here you are being like, I go into bars and you're using your internet clout because you got some like overnight fame being an Andrew Tate, Myron Gaines type, right? I was around before them. Yeah, but nobody fucking heard of you before them. Why do you think that is? You are a loser. That's the whole thing. And like, you're getting off on making this like this whole thing that like, you actually have something to say, when the truth is Here's what you are, Zherka.
Wrap it up. Let's go.
I'm gonna continue to say these
Wrap it
triggering
up,
statements
Ashley.
that everyone knows isn't true because I know that they get likes and views, and I'm gonna get laid because of it. And here I am coming on a debate panel completely unprepared, seemingly
Tonight,
possibly drunk.
Ashley.
I don't know, unless this is your normal self. I've seen you actually be way more calibrated than this, so it seems like you didn't take tonight very seriously. It seems like you're just kind of really super
Ashley,
just
tonight I'm having
I'm gonna
a
take a
beer.
piss real quick.
Tonight I'm having a
Don't blame me,
beer with
Alex.
your. Tonight I'm having a beer with your 12-year long ex-husband. Tonight we drink to your bones because you're gonna die alone with this attitude. I'm trying to help you. You're gonna die alone.
Well,
Nobody's
you're
live
gonna die
you.
with a
You're
man
being a
or a bride that your
feminazi.
parents
You're a
got for
feminazi.
you.
You're like
Now,
Zeke Al and all that
you
stuff.
don't
You're a
want that
Nazi. You're a
because you
feminist.
know that the sex and relationship won't be good. So you're very pathetic. You're honestly way more pathetic than me. At least I
What
lived
did
a
your
truth.
ex-husband look like? Did he look like
Why
me?
does that matter? Why do you care? I'm not gonna dox my family and talk about them.
No, but did he look like me?
Fuck no. You admit
That's
you
right.
admit
That's
actually
right.
you admit that
That's
you're not
right.
very good looking. You admit that you're not, and you aren't.
I do it so you guys don't harm yourselves.
Okie dokie.
This might be a good opportunity to go into the Q&A. We're going to move fast. Do want to remind you folks a couple of things. One, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. We have many more juicy debates coming up.
I won't
And
be
thanks-
participating in them, but
Oh, you're rage
You got
quitting.
it. We're going to
'cause of
jump
me?
into the Q&A.
She's
So,
rage quitting. Yo,
thank
how
you
can
very much
run-
for your
I'm not
question.
rage quitting.
All right.
I'm going to be
We're
here
moving
till the
into the
end,
next one.
my guy.
This one from Malavia says, John, you're a failed comedian. Enough with the shtick. More people in this country go to the gym than at any other time in human history. I don't know
Okay,
if
Chatter, you're right. I would trade lives with you.
this
I
one
don't blame you.
coming in from Von Zoom says, much love, modern day debate. As an Army vet, John is correct on different physical standards. It's corporate America brainwashing people for profit.
Base.
I would agree with that largely too.
Any thoughts, anyone else?
Nope, no thoughts.
We're good.
By the way,
Actually,
Von Zoom,
hey,
thanks
give
for
these two
serving. Hold on,
give
shut
them an
up.
HP
Will you
potion.
Shut up. Von Zoom, thanks for serving in our military. We do appreciate that. All right, Zherka,
Yes,
what
thank you.
insightful
Thank you
comments
for
did you
going
want
to
to
the
make?
military.
What? Okay, whatever. Von Zoom.
Can we thank
says,
the Army
question
man for the
no,
United
I give you a
Corporations
chance.
of
They
the
say,
USA?
question for Hunter. Would you agree that toxic masculinity is a marketing ploy?
Is a No, I don't know what that even. I don't even know what that means exactly. How would it be
Yeah, you do.
How would it be a marketing ploy?
Juicy. This one coming from Thunderstorm says, stop eating soy. Alex, you been eating soy?
Yes.
This
Soy,
one
I
from-
haven't
There are
eaten.
studies out there that
I haven't
show
eaten
that
soy in a
does-
decade. Soy is horrible for you as a man. I haven't eaten soy in like.
Well,
I
there
eat
are
a bunch of
studies-
soy every day, and I think of Zherka
Thank you,
while doing
Hunter.
it.
We know, but Ashley,
That
what do
is
you-
not. It's not actually. There's actually studies out there refuting that soy increases your estrogen levels as men. That's anyway. It's a good
This
source
one.
of protein. Plant protein is good.
What you guys got to do to
It's also,
increase your
just as a
masculinity-
complete side note, it's also like dominated by one company, Monsanto, which are like horrible, the worst fucking.
Okay,
company.
that
And they like are just guilty of so much shady shit. So either
I
way,
did watch that documentary.
And
It was very good.
Monsanto, you know what's funny is Monsanto, just like every other billion-dollar corporation industry,
No one believes
NGO,
anything you say anymore.
all of them, what they all have in common is they're all liberal.
Yeah, what
That's you guys. You guys are with
actually,
the big
I don't think the
corporations.
companies are liberal or conservative. They just want to. Make
Oh
us
really? They don't
possible.
change their profile picture to the LGBT
God,
flag.
Zherka, you're so
Really?
But that's
Are you
because
You are
kidding
so
me, Alex?
gross.
Are you
Zherka, but that's
kidding
because
me?
it makes them more money. They don't actually care about that. They just want the money.
That's my point. Is their side is evil with the corporations.
Right, but they just know that being liberal is going to get you more money.
So
and
they're
more
not
social-
all money. That they're not all liberal and evil. Because I mean, haven't you even heard people talk about how much Disney, for example, donates to like anti-LGBT politicians or whatnot?
Really?
This notion that just because like they had a trans person on their Twitter account during Pride Month, like it means that
somehow the liberal agenda is taking everything over is just not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not about. It's not about.
Hunter,
It's not about principles. It's all about making as much money as possible.
Hunter, you're trying to
about
combat
principles.
Zherka with things that are called facts and actual research, and he doesn't have them. All he has are trigger statements and.
I'm pretty sure
Actually,
Zherka's just getting
you
off
live in
on
a-
everybody who
actually,
gets
you-
mad.
actually,
at
you
him.
live in a- Actually, you live in a closet. Look at my swimming pool, though. That's some
Yeah,
failed
that
comedian.
you share a house with a lot of other men.
Where are they?
We
I heard
invited
you
like
say
the
this,
we invited
There's
like the
nobody
frat
here,
boy.
Ashley.
We have
There's
the
nobody
frat
No,
boy
you
here.
said it the other day. It's on stream. Like
Oh,
you
yo,
share a
Ashley's
house with other
ex-husband.
people who are
Ashley,
creators.
it's your ex-husband. He's here.
I highly doubt that. All right, let's go to the next one. Von Zoom says, question for Ashley. They say, why are women, or in particular, why are you as a woman telling men how to be men when you don't have the perspective of being a man?
Well, here's why, because I was asked to come on this panel and debate are men becoming more feminine or wimpy nowadays. And so I agreed because I enjoy a good debate. And I think that as a society, men and women both equally share a part in how that goes forward. Do we not? Do we not? So as a woman, I was asked to come here today and I was asked to give my point of view on this. And that's what I'm fucking doing. That's why. How's that?
Yeah, I do. To be fair to Ashley, I want to give credit because one, it is true that Ashley's speaking on this because I invited her. So you might think like, but how, she should have turned it down. And I would say, no, she shouldn't have, because one, I actually like it when people who are like not of the conventional, like who you'd expect being in the debate are actually in the debate. So for example, sometimes we have Canadians debating on whether or not the United States has good gun control. Like, I like that because you're like, well, we should just have Americans. It's like, why does it just have to be Americans? So to be fair that way. So I also have to say, Ashley has come into the lion's den tonight. So I do appreciate that, Ashley, because it is.
She got butchered.
There are some people out there are hostile. And so in the live chat, I do want to remind you not to attack the guests, as we do appreciate
It's all
them.
good.
Can I
I'm gonna do
quickly?
it after the stream tonight.
Someone,
Can I quickly read a comment I wrote for my chat? 'Cause I think that's a good one.
Yes. What have you got?
I was just gonna say.
I'm sorry. There's so many people talking at once.
Go ahead, Ashley. You can finish. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say, James, I'm sorry. Like I honestly like.
Oh,
I
here we
totally
go,
got
the apology
thrown off.
Hold on, but Zherka,
Give it
for
a
real,
rest.
because I have to be fair. Like, Ashley, I was really hard on you. I do want to say this publicly because
I took it really hard. And
it's fair. Oh, sorry.
it hit me bad, and like it kind of ruined my whole debate dynamic from there on out. I just felt like this.
That's why you lost.
All right, I've got John on mute. I hear you, Ashley.
It just kind of did kind of like, I don't know, just kind of ruined my whole like dynamic, and I shouldn't have let it. And it's a good experience though, because like for me, like I know that I need to be able to come back from this. I've gone through a lot of shit in the last few days in my personal life, and like, so I just not on my A game. But anyway, James, like,
No,
I don't
totally.
know. I just hope we're cool, because like,
No, we're totally
I'm
cool. Sorry
sorry,
for interrupting you. I just wanted to say, if I could go back, what I would not have said is, because this is where I was like, I put extra sauce on it when I said like, I don't know how you could be so self-aware. I'm really sorry. That was me.
I
just
felt
being
really
cranky.
attacked.
And you're right. Like, I went beyond what I should have said. One reason that I'm like extra triggered tonight, and I should have said it before we went live. I should have just called you out then. And then it wouldn't have happened during the live stream. But the other thing is, no joke, during this debate, I've been like handling someone wanting to like get into legal stuff on modern day debate. In other words, like after me, potentially. So that's why I'm like especially stressed. Although Alex can tell you.
My sister died 3 days ago.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
So for me, like I'm going through some shit right now, like honestly, and like I no, just to be fair too, like I'm not on my A game. Perhaps I should not have come on tonight, but like I was looking forward to it. So like everything that's been happening, I'm just like really just maybe I shouldn't have come on tonight. Like this is pretty, but when you said that, it like, because you and I talk so much, I was like, oh shit, like I just felt the world coming down on me, and I was like, fuck, like.
I promise. No. Like I said, I've just been under stress. One time I told Daniel Hakikachu, a popular Muslim debater we have on, I basically told him in front of everybody during the debate that he was losing the debate. So like sometimes I go too far, and I'm sorry about that. So we're cool. This one coming in from
Oh wait,
Coffee
can
Lover.
I read the thing that I was going to say real quick, or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, this is just addressing the earlier point, but okay, it's going to seem like very out of context now, but fuck it. Big corporations are all about maximizing profit. Right now, there's more money in playing into the woke theme. That's the day that changes. These companies will completely abandon what they're saying now and become conservative. So it's all about money. It has nothing to do with principles. So that's the only thing I was going to say. All right, keep going.
You got it. Any thoughts on that? Anybody else? Okay, this one coming in from, do appreciate it. Coffee Lover says Von Zoom. Oh, they're responding to the person who originally said, "Why is Ashley as a woman, telling men how to behave?" And the Coffee Lover in a super chat responded to Von Zoom and said, "Why are men telling women how to be women when men have no perspective of that?" In other words, I think they were saying like, why are you trying to pressure Ashley? So it's kind of like that old like, are you being judgmental by calling someone anyway? Not you. It's a bad. Aussie and Talk says suicide rates dropped from 1950 to 2000. Why is this?
I would have to look at the stats about that. I thought that the suicide rates had like some fluctuation. I didn't think that there was a large decrease, but I
don't think there is. When did he say the suicide rate decreased?
Into the 2000s.
If it is, it's extremely minor, not substantial. As far as
I would think that I don't know. My best guess would be that mental health care and awareness has been made more prevalent and accessible. That would be my best guess.
We had a massive like rise in suicides, I believe, in like the 50s or 60s. Don't quote me on that, but one of those. And then there's something that happened like in the 70s or 80s where they started going down. But then it kind of did one of these. So I believe, as far as I understand, it's either equal or going up. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it looks like it's going up. I mean, if it were going down, then
yeah, that's the statistic I read too. So I don't know where he's getting it from.
No, ever since everyone got an iPhone and the highest purchasing power we've ever seen in consumer society, despair, anxiety, depression has skyrocketed. So I know the suicide rate went up. Everyone knows that. That's the whole point of these debates. And
that's actually a really good point, Zherka.
Yes, and where does all this despair come from? It's because we walked away from the church, right?
Okay,
no.
Keeping up with the Joneses. Keeping up with the Joneses.
First and foremost, no, this is just complete bullshit. Second of all, I'm looking at the statistics here on Statista, and actually suicides peaked over here in 1990, especially for men. 2007 being when the iPhone came out. We only saw like a slight increase here from 18.1 to now we're at 22.8. So still an increase over time, but it's not like there's this stark, huge uptick because people left the church or something. That's no.
I mean, since the 1960s sexual revolution, that's really when all the problems started. Because when the Americans were a God-fearing society, they didn't have these problems of like getting roofied at bars and like not every girl's getting fucking molested at parties and all this.
That's because back then,
because women
the time
were
you're
married,
talking
they were taking care of kids.
No, because actually the time in which you're referring to being the 50s and 60s, domestic abuse and rape was not even usually processed as a legal problem. It was treated specifically, actually, child molestation by like a
hold on.
was treated as a domestic issue.
The greatest fake news I've ever heard. You're telling me women deal with more molestation and creeps now or in 1950s?
What I'm saying is I don't know. It would probably
just answer directly. What do you think? You don't have to know.
It seems like there's more now, but that's because it wasn't or it wasn't recorded.
I think more so now because.
Well, hold on, wait. Sorry, Emily. Zherka, are you lost, my friend? Are you okay right now? Are you following?
Again, can we please
when
go
you're
back
losing?
to
Answer the.
Social
you know what's funny is.
I have told you already that you know what.
This is why I troll, because this is why I like to troll, because you're not answering me. You're not even debating. You're just.
No, you like to troll for clicks and views.
Are you talking to me right now? How am I not debating?
And so you can live in your little.
Yeah, fucking soy boy retard seizure. Answer the fucking question. Do you agree that there's more creeps and molestation now or in the 1950s? Obviously,
The
now in
reason is
1950s
because
hold
of
on,
social
hold on.
media
Ashley,
I literally
technology.
acknowledged
take a
you and I
break
said
from
it
losing.
seems like
Ashley,
there's
In the
take
more.
a break.
No, shut the fuck
Ashley,
up,
put the-
Zherka.
we don't
Okay,
have any
you
more
want to get
L's for
everybody
you.
pissed
We don't.
off. Now when
We
people
ran
are
out of
getting
L's
pissed
for
off,
Ashley.
you're getting more.
No,
pissy,
in the 1950s, we could not go online and elicit young men or young women into sexual situations. Okay.
Oh, because
Give
of the
me a
digital
break.
age.
This is
That's the
the
difference. Is that
fucking
your argument?
argument.
Your argument is that the digital age is what expanded it?
Yes.
Yeah,
It
that's
is,
the only
actually.
thing, right? That's the only
It's
thing.
a
And
completely
what I
valid
said is that,
argument, you
and what I said
dumbass.
is, it sure
Yes.
and what I said is, it sure seems like there's more creeps nowadays, but that's because you're comparing it to a time like the 1950s and 60s,
Just here,
when that wasn't being tracked very well. So there's no way by which we can actually measure.
Nor was the accessibility even close to the accessibility that
And let's not
predators
forget
have now.
let's not forget one tiny little variable for you little DNC run Satanists. The women were at home with kids. If there was a rape or molestation, it would have been marital, which the statistics are so fucking low, it's not even worth talking
That's
about.
because marital rape was not considered rape at the time. You're actually making the argument for me right now.
The point I'm making
marital
is
rape
it's
at the time was
worse to be
specifically not
Zherka,
counted.
just
Hold
don't
on,
get
Hunter,
bait
Hunter.
from now on. Just
Hunter,
go on
is it
and do
worse
your
to
No,
be
little,
Zherka, in
is it
your own
worse-
words, bite the
do your
bullet,
fresh
dude.
and
Just
fit
bite the
panel
bullet.
shit.
Is it worse
you'll be
to
good.
be a woman 2023? If you're a woman, let's say you
God.
believe. Okay,
I
Hunter,
can
let's say
already
you want
answer
to.
this question. It is
I
Let's
worse.
say you want to.
No, wait, because he's asking me a question I can answer. It is the worst is to be a woman who exists in the same time period as you, Zherka. That's the correct answer here.
Oh
Okay?
yeah.
It's the objectively correct answer.
That's cute. That's cute. Okay.
Let's go to the
All
next
right.
one. Do want to say thank you very much for your question. Alternate Keck says Hunter keeps accusing John of being abusive. Low IQ.
When did
Did
I
you? I don't
accuse
know.
Drew,
John
my
of
feelings
being
are
abusive?
hurt. Hey, can we have a group
When did
therapy
I-
session again?
To whoever
need
put that
one.
in the chat, I don't know if maybe they've been
Definitely
watching.
do.
I think they may have been watching like a different stream and then donated on the wrong super chat.
Glad
'cause
you're drinking water.
I
bro.
have not accused anybody of abuse this single time this whole time.
Did she attack me for drinking water?
This one from Von Zoom says, apologies, James. No disrespect intended. See, Ashley, there was even actually a person in chat that I got into a quarrel with. So I'm a little bit more
No,
testy.
shit happens, bro.
This
Like,
one from-
I'm sorry too.
Totally cool. No worries. It's the internet.
Shit happens,
All of
man.
it's
Shit
water under the
happens.
bridge.
It's the internet.
This is Von Zoom. Von Zoom, for real, no problem. Don't worry about it. I just get annoyed when people try to tell me what to do. But all is forgiven, Von Zoom. Night Shift 1 million says men today are totally too soft. And also said, is that Hunter Avalone or Weezer? If you want to destroy my sweater, pull the thread and walk away. Is that a Weezer?
If you want
I think
to
that's a-
destroy my
I think that's a Weezer lyric, maybe.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow, the good old days.
indeed.
Away.
I had
love it.
good middle school days. This one from Night Shift 1 million says, goodness, Ashley. So you're not a fan of you, Ashley.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm
Thunder-
okay. I can handle it.
Thunderstorm says, as a blue-eyed 6-foot white man, I'm not paying attention. Hi, Ashley, with a smiley face. What does that mean?
He's trying to smash.
Is he trying to seduce Ashley? This is
'Cause he's-
Peter
I
Zotti.
seriously doubt that.
Peter
Right,
Zotti
he
says,
would.
any fathers in the panel, not a father, not a man. Woo!
I win. Suck it, Zherka.
Yeah, but
Yes.
you win until your kid grows up and realizes his dad is a Democrat.
See, you could have gotten such a better. Wait, come on, dude. No, Zherka, please. You had the chance
Aren't
to
you
say.
worried about that day?
Zherka,
My
you could have.
dad is a
Zherka, you
Democrat,
could have
beta
said
male? Oh my
no,
God.
Hunter. You would have
I don't
won,
feel
but
safe.
then you could have said Hunter. You would have won until you get a DNA test. You could have roasted me so much better, dude.
Is that a boy or a girl?
I have a boy and a girl.
God bless you. Wow.
Oh, I love it. How old are they, Hunter?
Are
They're
you
still very
teaching
young.
them?
I'm just a little
Are
bit
you- hold
disappointed
on,
that
Hunter,
Zherka
are
had a
you
chance to
also- are
actually
you-
roast me and kind of butchered it, man.
I'm
That
not
sucks.
roasting you. I'm asking the honest
He
question.
can't
Are you
actually roast anything or
Okay.
anyone. He's a moron. That's the point, Hunter.
Ashley? Thank you for telling the
I'm
world you're
sorry.
triggered. Don't apologize. That's weak. That's
Oh, not
feminine.
to you. No, to Hunter.
Okay, well, Freudian slip. I think it was towards me. But Hunter, are you going to also teach
That's
your
not the
kids-
definition of a Freudian slip.
Hunter, are you
moron.
going to teach your son to cut his dick
You're so
off like
fucking stupid.
the rest
I
of
love
your
it.
like the rest of your friends? Are you going to teach your son to cut his dick off, Hunter? What are you gonna teach your
mean,
son
like,
about
search
virgin?
engine?
Mostly to
Yeah,
keep
what
my
are you gonna answer that? What are you gonna
in
what are you
order to
gonna
keep
what are
my
you gonna
son
teach your
safe,
son,
I'm gonna
huh?
keep him away from people like you who are obsessed with children's
Are you gonna
genitals.
teach your kid to cut his
Let's
dick
go
off
to
and
the
take
next
hormone
one.
blockers?
As
No, I'm gonna
this
say
is
stay
your
away
son
from the
gonna
guy
take
talking
This is
about your penis,
from
Is
Timmy.
your
It's
son
very
gonna
Ozian
take
creepy.
hormone block?
Talks.
What
I'm
if
gonna
your
say stay
son
away
wants
from
to
the.
take
I hate to
hormone
do
No,
blockers?
I'm gonna
this,
say
but I
Timmy.
have
You
to
see the
put you
adult
on
man over
mute.
by the
so
phone?
I
Stay
get
away
to
from him.
finish.
Okay, he's talking about
This one
penises.
coming in from Ozian Talk says, Zherka, in the meta debate about you, why did Ashley beat you?
Can you refresh my memory? Which part? I don't remember actually winning ever in life.
This one coming in from Hake of the Hake Report. Amazing. Says, shout out, let's see, to the gentlemen, ladies, ma'am, males, and females. Thank you for that. Agent Black says, big up to Hake for that donation. Much respect. Wow.
Wait, James, I got a question.
What is it?
Like, what do you think? Do you think if Hunter's son wants hormone blockers at 14 and to cut his dick off, like, what do you think Hunter's gonna say? Is he gonna be very progressive there, or is he gonna change his tune?
You'd have to ask Hunter what his
Hunter,
thoughts
yeah,
are.
I'll ask Hunter. You're right. James is too good looking for me. Go ahead, Hunter.
That's
I'd be more than happy to talk with you about who is better looking. Maybe we can have a conversation about the kid's genitals that you seem very,
Dodge.
very
What happens
set
if your
on,
kid?
but-
It's a genuine
Yeah.
question. What happens if
Here's
your kid
the,
wants
and
to
I
cut his
would be
dick
more
off?
than happy to give you a genuine answer when you want to come on my stream and talk. When this has nothing to do with the
You
subject.
won't do it here.
Well, we're ending the debate panel is supposed to end in 3 minutes.
Just a yes or no.
and
Just a
yeah,
yes
my-
or no. If your
my
kid
food's
wants
about
to
to be here and whatnot, so
your
I gotta-
food, you're
my soy.
Hunter,
I ordered
you are
some
my
soy
food.
milk.
You got ate alive. I ate you
ordered some
alive
soy
today. You
milk.
were my food today.
All
You're
right,
my Uber
let's
Eats
go.
today.
Okay, let's go to the next question, and then it's totally
'cause-
okay, Hunter. What I'm going to do is any questions that are for you, I'm going to read them, and then I do want everybody to agree. If Hunter has to leave the Zoom call in 2 minutes, I want everybody to agree that you're not going to talk about him after he leaves, because that wouldn't be fair when he's not here to defend himself.
I would never.
Hunter, if you have to go, it's totally okay.
If there's
Because
any
it's
more
fair,
thumbnail, I mean, if there's any more questions for me, yeah. But if not, I am gonna have to split.
I
'cause-
have one question for you, Hunter.
Hey,
Yeah.
Hunter, it was hold on, my turn. Hunter, it was nice debating with you tonight. You're a cool dude. Nice to meet you. I've watched a lot of your stuff, and I've
Thank you.
actually shared a lot of your stuff in the past. So
Very base. Well, thank
Which
you so
Hunter?
much. Appreciate it.
The successful Hunter, or did you share
I've
the
debated
recent
with
Hunter?
your wife before too, by the way. A
Me
few
too.
times.
So have I, yeah.
Well, either way, I appreciate. Thanks so much, James, for having me on. Zherka, once again, I appreciate you sucking me dry multiple different times today. That's been very nice.
What
And,
if your son
either way,
wants
have
to
the
cut
rest
his
of
dick off,
good
Hunter?
rest of your day. And
Dad, I
Zherka, why
wanna
don't we
cut
have
my
another
dick
debate?
off, Dad.
Hey,
Dad, I
Zherka,
want to cut my
Zherka,
dick off. Is that
Zherka,
okay?
Zherka.
Is that okay? Can I cut Dad? Can I
Okay.
cut my dick off?
I guess I'll
All
just
right.
God, he's so gross.
again.
All right.
Zherka, we can talk sometime else, but again, if you could please stop talking about children's
He's
genitalia,
just like
that
a
might be good
walking
for you.
meme.
But thanks,
Ugh.
James.
Thank you, Hunter. Have a good
Take care,
night.
dude.
What I'm
Bye,
going to do is
Hunter.
adjust the pictures.
Holy shit. My God. I love how the chat, no matter what, is like, Hunter lost. All right, let's read some. That was a very, like, unmemorable fucking debate. My gosh. Coffee Lover, thanks for the $2. Eric Killmonger, the Sigma of chat moderators, based. Regenerate thanks for the $10. Did they ever think maybe it's people's morals? Everything's gotten more expensive. It didn't really let up. The job didn't adapt to the time. More higher demand, less workers on shift dealing with Karens. There's way too many over-demanding people, and we expect everyone to hold standards people didn't deal with back then over expectations. True. Niwam, thanks for the $2. You're doing amazing, Hunter. Thank you. Regenerate thanks. Thank you so much for the $10 dono. Is it possible those men were gay or trans, was trying to convert themselves straight, or feel like their biological birth, societal pressure, and all? Nearly everyone's parents is failing their kids today, and are they worrying about other men's masculinity? Some of these parents only socialize occasionally. True. Carissa Avalon, how'd it go? Good. I'm just glad it's over, and also you should come down so we can watch Game of Thrones because my food's about to be here. Regenerate thanks for the $2. I say it's maybe the morale and high expectations. True. Niwam, $2. Thank you. Zherka has such a huge crush on you. Yeah, it's really creepy. He's very obsessed with me. And thanks for the $2. Oh, it's not gay when you do it with friends, LOL. Ooh. Ooh. World's okay is lesbian. Thanks for the $5. Hunter, thank you for being the voice of reason. Ashley, so sorry for your loss. Zherka, you are making me gayer. Accept yourself or troll better. Based. Real.
Williams and that guy, he has an arsenal of.
Oh, oh my God. All right, everybody. Love you, and I'll see you all soon. Peace out.